Yo, what's going on, PLC? We're back. So I've been away for a little bit. Not away, but like away. Um, yeah. But the podcast has been away for a little bit, and that's really been away. So yeah. Our bad. But we're back now. It's week 9. We're smack dab in the middle of week 9 right now. Jay and I decided to get together, bring the podcast back. So we're excited, we're hyped, and yeah, you know the drill. We're going to talk about standings. We're going to talk about our picks. We actually are going to talk about picks, despite them having been picked a couple weeks ago. But then we're going to talk about the midseason, because the midseason is always fire. And then we're going to make some picks for week 9. So you guys know the drill. We hope you enjoy. And we will see you guys in chat. Peace. All right, Jay. We're back. Happy week 9.
Happy week 9, dude. Goddamn.
It's been 3 weeks technically, because the last episode was week 6. But then, we had the midseason, so technically it's been like 4 weeks, so a month of no podcast, but we're back. So that's the important thing, right?
Exactly. We're back. We're better. We were recovering. Some of us were on vacation, things like that. Life happens. Life happens.
Exactly.
But we made a vow to ourselves that we are going to finish out the season 100% this time. We're going to get it done. And yeah, man, just know we're back. We're here.
Exactly.
Post mid-season going into week 9.
Exactly. We're going to finish these last 4 weeks of the regular season. And then we're going to finish the playoffs, and we're going to wrap up season 9, hopefully with a team premier championship, right?
I mean, you already have one. Okay.
No, we'll cover the season throughout the rest of the season. So we're going to make that happen. So Jay Wade, get off our backs.
Jay Wade, Zach.
Exactly. But no. So today, what we're going to cover is we're going to talk about standings. We're going to talk about the picks that we made last podcast, which was week 6. So we're going to go back a few weeks, talk about that, just to keep up with our overalls, perfect calls, and things like that. Then we will talk about the transfer weekends and the midseason, so that'll be fun. And then we're going to make some week 9 picks too. So it's going to be a good podcast. We are glad to be back. And yeah, Jay, let's go ahead and kick it off. Do you want to tackle the standings real quick?
Yeah, man, a lot of familiar faces and a lot of familiar locations. We got 2 champions. Reese defending champ, Zach previous champ, both sitting at the 1 and 2 spots with both a record of 8-0, both with 16 points, and both with a 30 plus minus. So literally the exact same record for Reese and Zach. I think we just did it by alphabetical order at this point, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's the reason why Reese is 1 and Zach is 2.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly correct.
Very impressive start for both of them. They have fantastic team, even more after midseason. Just props to them for that strong start, man. Might go undefeated. We'll see. Did you know that none of the top 3 face each other at all this
I was
season?
actually
Isn't that
looking at
crazy?
that. Yeah, I was curious. I was like, do Reese and Zach play? No, they don't. That's unfortunate.
There's no dogfight this time. Look, they're doing a great job, man. Props to them.
For sure.
Next up, we have Ian and Mike, both sitting at 7-1. Ian with a plus minus at 15, Mike with a plus minus at 12, occupying the 3 and the 4 spots respectively. Again, they've also got off to very strong starts this season. Mike only losing to Reese, and Ian losing a very close game against Brian. But still, man, they find themselves in those coveted 4 spots that would give you that first round bye from the first round best of 3 series going into playoffs. It's a good job with them on that. For number 5, we have Brian. Brian sitting at a very nice 6-2. He definitely can catch up to Ian or Mike if they end up stumbling, or if he has just strong weeks in the next coming weeks as well. He's been playing really well, so props to him on that. We have Dan at number 6. Dan, unfortunately, coming off a loss heading into midseason, but I think with some of the additions he made to his team, I think we're going to see still a lot more wins. Hopefully not when he faces me, but I still think he has a great shot there as well. Tied up with him record-wise, we have Jay Wade also at 5-3, with a plus minus of just 2, sitting in the 7th spot. So again, solid above 500 record. Jay Wade got to start blowing people out the water. He took a really close game against me, so props to him on that. But Again, still could be anybody's game right there, bro. Still could be anybody's game. Then we have myself, Jordan, in the number 8 spot. Man, I don't like it. 4-4. I'm not used to having a record like this. You know what I mean? I'm joking. I'm joking. I'll be going through it sometimes.
I was gonna say it's fun. It keeps things exciting.
Exactly. It's been an okay season. Fighting for my life every week. Scheduling 12 a.m. battles, 9 a.m. battles. I've been doing my thing. Um, but we think on our side that we made some fantastic moves this midseason. Hopefully, we can win out. Maybe get a top 5, maybe even a 4 spot. We'll see. We'll see. You got Brendan right under me, all sitting at 4-4. Literally 50-50 with the 8 points and the 0 plus minus ratio. But again, I think Brendan made a lot of solid pickups this season as well. He's been playing really well. We've seen the improvement from previous seasons, so I think he's gonna go. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Hmm.
Jordan, we have you at number 10, also 4-4, plus minus of -2. Making it, interesting for yourself, living dangerously. I respect that. You know what I mean? And I think that's pretty cool of you, man, to just be like taking it easy, only using 15% of your power. I think that's really impressive of
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir.
Um, for those that don't know, Jordan took his family to Disney World.
Hmm.
Is that the one in Florida or is it Disneyland?
No, no. Disney World is in Florida. Yep, we were in
Okay, so
Florida.
he's been reserving his energy for his trip. So pretty much he had to store all his energy. Like what's the move? What's the move? Stored power. He stored all his power. He got through the trip, and now he's refreshed. Now he's actually gonna try this time for these
Yes,
next four
sir.
weeks.
Yes,
Except except
sir.
except for next week, I'm a bust his ass. But anyways, now, Jordan, this is very interesting, right?
Mhm.
Because we have Phil and SB in the 11th and 12th spot with a 2-6
Oh
record.
my gosh, this is
But
my first
if
time
you
seeing this.
look from
Whoa.
11 to 17, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players tied up with a 2-6 record.
Oh my
And
gosh.
the plus minuses themselves, they're not that far apart. Phil currently has the 11th spot with -9, SB with -10. But Ty, if Ty has a good week, can easily see himself in that mix. And so can everybody, honestly, at this point, just to kind of get into the playoff hunt.
That is
Um,
crazy.
it's insane, man. It's still very close for those last 2 spots, and I think it's definitely going to be a dogfight as the season continues. So definitely something to keep an eye on as well. But I've never seen something like that. Like those number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 players essentially with the same record and not separated by a lot. They're all within 5 of each other, starting from Chris to Phil, and Evan's also right there as well. So it's still that could be 2 solid good weeks for Evan, catching a couple wins and immediately finding himself just back in that hunt.
That, I mean, Jay, that's actually crazy. Like, I want to click
Mm-hmm.
over and start looking at. We have 4 battles to go, right? So it's not like we
Yeah.
have a whole season to be played. So, like, with these players, like everything is like you could gain huge ground with a win, and you could lose huge ground with a loss. Let alone 2 wins or 2 losses and so forth and so on. So wow, that's crazy. That's gonna be fun to keep an eye on as we go
Mm-hmm.
forward.
And in the 18 spot we have the lovely Justin. Um, I think Lucario is a great Pokemon. I think Lucario is a fantastic Pokemon. It's one of my favorite Mega Evolutions. I think it's just an amazing Pokemon. That's all I got.
Well,
I
no.
was about something. I was like, what do I say about this? I was like,
Yeah.
but we love Lucario, we love Justin, we love the Crimson Hearts. And there's always a chance. There's always a chance. There's definitely still. There's 4 weeks left to make some noise. You know what I mean? And if he wins out, he has a chance, which I think again is pretty cool. And he has a team to kind of mess with a lot of people's chances. You know what I mean? Also, a chance to sneak in there himself.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is we always say that Justin likes to play with a Pokemon that he's fans or a fan of. And what's interesting is that I was just looking at his team. He only has 2 Asterisk Mons. So like
Huh.
definitely like isn't taking advantage of that third slot, which is kind of interesting. I mean, it's definitely something that I mean,
That's to challenge himself.
yeah, but I feel like go ahead and pick up that power. But
Hmm.
no, just interesting stuff. So But yes, Jay, thank you. Those are the standings. That is your number 1 through 18, and we have 4 games to go. So again,
Hmm.
everyone, make your plans accordingly. Take your plans into battle with you, and try to get those dubs because we only have 4 more chances to do it, and after that, playoffs. So fun stuff. It's like a brand new season at that point. So
Yeah, man. That's just the one thing we see it a lot in professional sports. You just got to make it there.
mm-hmm.
See it a lot in baseball. Only Evan's gonna get this reference, but a lot of the wild card teams, which is essentially like the last 2 spots, they've all made
mm-hmm.
the World Series recently. You know what I mean? It's just things like that. Momentum is a huge thing. It really is, especially when you can like get a couple wins. So as long as you're there, man, as long as you get there, everyone starts off at 0-0. It doesn't matter what happened in the regular season.
Exactly. Nope, you're absolutely correct. So it's gonna be fun. This is like always the funnest time of the year for me.
Hmm.
You know, in my you know battles, just trying to get to playoffs because I'm obviously competing. But it's also fun just to keep an eye on everything and all the moves and all the wins, all the losses coming here and there. It's exciting. This is just the best time of year. I love it. And it's fun being in the hunt too. It's like it's not necessarily as fun when you're like there's nothing to play for, but when you have something to play for and everyone does at this point, it's
Hmm.
really exciting. So it's exciting to see where we're at, and I'm fine. I'm excited to see how all this shapes out. So good stuff.
Yep.
And that's the standings. So Jay, anything you want to mention before we move on from the standings, real quick? Anything
No, man.
stands out?
I, just again, remember, like, just get there. You have a shot. Well, after mid season, especially, I feel like everyone's team got immensely better. A lot of well needed upgrades. So I think again, it's going to be a dogfight until the end.
No, for sure. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And with that, that's the standings. So moving on to or going back in time a little bit, our week 6
Hmm.
picks. um, these are the last picks we made. So I'm just thinking back. We last released an episode in week 6. So
Yeah.
week 6 matches hadn't been played yet. Some of them
Hmm.
had, some of them hadn't. But that's the last time we made picks. So that being said, we're going to cover week 6. Jay, you made picks. I made picks. Let's go ahead and jump into those now. So the first
Yes, sir.
match from week 6 was Ian and Phil. Jay, you called Ian by 3. I also called Ian by 3. And Ian ended up winning by 3, giving us both the perfect call. So thank you, Ian. We appreciate that. And
Good job, Ian.
yeah, good stuff. I don't really think we need to speak to what happened to those battles because it's been a month. But Jay, if you remember anything about them, feel free to chime in.
Not a single thing. Not gonna lie to you. Not a single thing.
Not at all. Nope.
Next up, we have Evan going against Ty. I picked Evan by 3. Jordan, you also picked Evan by 3. And Evan pulls out the perfect call, winning in his matchup against Ty by 3 indeed, giving us both a second perfect call for the week. Started us both really strong, honestly. Two perfect calls in a row.
Exactly.
Pretty sick. Pretty sick.
Exactly. And I will also throw in. I think I may have said it a second ago. I don't know, but some of these matches had been played when we released the episode, and some of them hadn't. So I can't remember which ones had versus hadn't. So um, you'll find out in just a few minutes that we both had a pretty good week, and I think that may have had something to do with it. But we will take any perfect calls any way we can get them.
Hmm.
So
We take those.
exactly. So next up, Simon versus Jay. So Jay, you called yourself by 3. I called you by
Hmm.
4. You did get the dub by 4. So I get a perfect call. You get a correct call. So thank you. I appreciate that because we all know I do need as many perfect calls as
Don't
I
thank
can.
me. Hold on. Don't patronize me. Don't thank
No,
me.
I need it. We all know that. If you've been listening for the
Shouldn't have
past,
protected.
you should have let something go down, take some recoil damage or something.
Now you see, look, a week ago I would have agreed with you, but the way Simon's been talking to me recently,
Oh no.
you know what? Well, Simon, I'll deal with you later. I'll deal with you in a later time. Next up for our week 6 matchups, we had Brendan going against Jay Grants. Jordan, we both called Brendan to win. I called him by 3. You called him by 2. And Brendan does indeed win by 2. So that's your 4th straight perfect call in a row for week 6. You're looking good.
Yo,
You're looking really good.
I'm looking
Um,
fantastic.
how you feel about that, man? 4 in a row, connect 4, literally.
Um, that's pretty impressive, but I don't remember. I mean, all of these matches could have been played by the time I recorded it. So I'm not really gonna have a victory lap
Wow.
just yet because I can't remember exactly. But I
So,
mean, it's pretty cool, so I'll take it.
so you're calling yourself the 2017 Houston Astros?
That's yes. I was banging on trash cans and everything.
Yeah, I'm just I just want to make sure that's actually the season.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
2017.
Jeez, that was 7 years ago. Goodness.
Isn't that crazy if you think about it? That was literally 7 years
No,
ago.
you know what's funny about that team too? Like again, I'm not
Mm,
the biggest baseball fan, but I always pull for the short guys because I'm 5'6". So Jose Altuve, like
mhm.
I kind of like that guy.
You're not
Look,
5'6".
yeah,
There's no way you're 5'6".
no, I'm 5'6". I'm like five
I
six and
I
3/4. I'm like almost 5'7",
okay.
five
I was
six.
gonna say I literally stood next to you like almost 3 months ago. There's no possible way you're
Yeah,
5'6".
no, I'm a little dude, so.
No, no,
Well,
you're fine.
actually, so last time I was at the doctor, which was probably I don't know, where guys. The last time I was there was probably like in 2020. No, I'd say 2019, maybe 2018, 2019. But yeah, they reported me as 5'7", so I was like, oh yeah, take that. That's freaking fire.
Well, first things first, you have to schedule yourself a brand new physical. Just
I
so you
know.
know.
I'm so bad about
But
that.
yeah, it's okay. I forgive you.
um, no, where were we at now? So
But yeah,
Jay,
Zach
Brendan,
and Brian.
yes, okay. So Um, I'll just cover it. I can't remember who did the last one, but yeah, Zach and Brian. That was the next match, the fifth match in week 6. Jay, you picked Zach by 2. I picked Zach by
Mm-hmm.
4. Zach and I'm sorry, no, I picked Zach by 3, and Zach won by 4. So we both get a correct call. No perfect call, so that's my first missed perfect call of the week, but still correct. So I'll take
Finally.
that. I couldn't go for 5 for 5. That'd be too egregious.
I'd be I'd be too OP, but it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, Jordan got your match. We got Chris Speakman going against Jordan H. Jordan, I picked Speakman by 2. You, for some reason, also picked Speakman by 2. 2020, 2017 Jose Altuve vibes, but it's okay. And Chris pulling out the win by 2, giving us both the perfect call. Unfortunately, a loss for you, but you still won at the end of the day because you got the perfect call. You know what I mean? Like, so
Exactly.
exactly. See,
Yo,
that's chess right there.
exactly. Everyone's playing checkers. I'm out
Hmm.
here playing 4D chess. Um,
Yep.
I probably would have rather had the win, the actual win,
No,
but
no, you're fine.
I'll take some comfort in the perfect call. So,
Exactly.
yep,
My perfect calls keep me warm at night.
exactly. Next up we have SB versus Reese. Jay, you called Reese by 4. I also called Reese by 4. Reese wins by 4, so we get a perfect call for both of us. So thank you, Reese. Good on you.
The touchdown, Dak Prescott.
Yeah, good stuff.
Next up, we have Jay Wade going against Dan. I called Jay Wade by 2. Jordan, you called Dan by 2. And Dan does win with a 6-0. I'm not sure what happened in this match. I remember Jay Wade was like beating himself up for it and making jokes about it, but he had a bounce back performance against me the very next week. But props to you, Jay Wade. It's okay. You 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 came back. But unfortunately, that gives me my first incorrect call of the week, Jordan. That gives you another correct call. All you would need is one more correct call for the perfect week. How,
And
how are you feeling going into this last match?
I'm feeling I'm feeling pretty good. So, Justin having a relatively rough season.
Hmm.
Mike coming back this year after taking a year off and dominating. And we both called Mike to win. Jay, you
Hmm.
called Mike by 4. I called Mike by 3. It was actually a close game. Mike only won by 1, so he does take the
Hmm.
dub, giving us the correct call, not the perfect. But I mean, I actually would be interested to find out what happened that week because
Hmm.
a win by 1 is close. But yeah, so we do get the correct call there. Um, Mike narrowly escaping with a dub, but yeah, gives us both the correct call. So Jay, on the week you had 8 correct calls, only 1 was
Hmm.
incorrect. That was Jay Wade getting stomped out.
Damn. Oh
Um,
damn.
and then I had a perfect week, which is exciting. But again, I'm not gonna really have a victory lap because I think you know I don't know how many matches had been played at that point, but yeah, 9-0 in the week is still kind of cool to see. So I'll take it.
You should you should change your name in the Discord to Jose Altuve.
Mr. Altuve or something.
Not yeah, like not many people are gonna get it, but those who will love it.
Right. If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
But Jay, so I had a perfect week. You had a very, very, very solid week. Jay, your overall correct calls uh, on the season, you have 41 correct calls, 13
Mm,
incorrect. And even with
mm.
a perfect week, I am only at 39 correct calls with 15 incorrect. So you're still beating me. So you're having a very good year. So props to you.
Thank you, bro. You're only two games behind though, so you're still right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm going to have another perfect week this week, hopefully.
No, no,
Fingers
no,
crossed.
no, 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 no,
Fingers
no.
crossed.
But yeah, man. So you got got 6 perfect calls in a week. You know, I heard the trash cans banging outside my door. I have 4 perfect calls this week. So with this week, we are also tied in perfect calls, 15 and 15, man. Going into the final 4 weeks, it's close. I believe, was it whenever we did the pause of the season? Was it you won the perfects and I won the regulars that year?
Um, that was going back. I want to say maybe 2 seasons, right?
That was, I think it's season 6.
Season
I'm pretty
6.
sure.
Geez, even more. I can't remember for sure. I have to go back and listen to that. You know, the final. Did we do playoffs? I can't remember. We'll have to go back and try
We
to find
did.
out because I'm curious.
We
Yeah.
did because your boy made finals, and I was like, yeah,
Oh, fair.
yeah.
Yep,
And
fair, fair.
and then yeah,
And then it
yeah,
happened. It happened.
yeah, exactly.
But no, I'll try to go find those details this week and kind of speak to it next podcast. But I can't tell you for sure. But no, good week, very good week for both of us. Again, it probably helped that half the matches had been played when we recorded, but we'll take that. You know what we say, we take those.
Exactly, bro. We take those. As long as it's a W on the board, we take those.
Exactly. But yes, so that is your week 6 recap. You know, it's only a few weeks late, a month late. But yeah, week 6 wrap up is wrapped up. Jay, anything you want to speak to before we move on to the transactions?
Um, I just think Diantha is a terrible champion, and that's all I really have to say, honestly.
No, fair, fair. I dig it. I'm sure Simon will have something to say about that. But moving on.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna do real quick is that we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break before we jump into the transactions. But yeah, just stay tuned, and we will be back in like literally 2 seconds. All right, thank you guys for sticking around for those 2 seconds. Through the magic of editing, we are back. All right, so the first thing we're gonna tackle. Well, actually, let's just kind of speak to it real quick. So we have had a lot of transactions since we last recorded. What we're gonna do now is just cover weekend 8.5 part 1. We're going to cover the midseason, and then we're going to cover weekend 8.5 part 2 because those are the most recent, and that's also the midseason. So the midseason is clearly the funnest transfer weekend, or weekend in quotes, but it's clearly the funnest transfer period in the season. So we did want to tackle that. So first, part 1. We had 4 transactions, so I'm going to tackle the transactions. Throw it to Jay. He's going to tackle the trades. But yeah, so Zach, in part 1, weekend 8.5, part 1, Zach dropped a Alolan Exeggutor and picked up OG Electrode. Ty dropped Spiritomb and picked up Bruxish. SB dropped Beartic and picked up OG Typhlosion. And then Ian dropped Kingdra and picked up Ludicolo. That's cool. Good stuff. I like the Bruxish pickup because Bruxish is a pain in the butt. I like the Typhlosion pickup because Typhlosion is something I had my eye on, just didn't grab it. And then the Swift Swimmers for Ian is kind of interesting. I mean, it's kind of strange. Jay, what do
Yeah,
you think about those transactions?
pretty solid, man. Pretty solid. I think Zach should have stuck with his team name, man. He was Team Longneck. He dropped one of the OG long necks, the original long neck. If you actually think about it, because you got Farigiraf, and you also got Raging Bolt, but who was here before those two? It was Executor technically. So I don't know, man. That shit is just a little fraudulent, if you ask me.
That's fair. That is fair. Um, and Electrode notoriously does not have a long neck, so yeah,
Hmm.
strange pickup, Zach.
Man has no neck.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Hmm.
So those are your weekend 8.5 part one transfers.
Yes, sir. For our trades for weekend 8.5 part one, we have myself trading Monkey Dory to J Wade. We have Ian trading Scizor to Reese for Aquanid, and I quote, Evan completes the Reggie collection by trading Dash. I don't know how to pronounce that. Dash Bun. Like, how do you say the dog's name?
Yeah,
Like,
Dash Bun.
like the
That's what I
dog breed?
say. Yeah.
Dash. Okay. To SB for Reggie Rock. Speak on my trade very briefly. I just wanted to lean more into the trick room version of my team. I already had Hatterene and Dusclops, but I felt like I was being very one dimensional with a lot of like the teams I was bringing, and I
Hmm.
think my play kind of struggled for it because I feel like I wasn't able to really switch things up. Um, but more on that later. More on that later. And like I like Monkey Dory, but I just want a little bit of a change, and I love Snorlax. Snorlax is probably like one of my favorite Pokemon of all time
Yeah.
because it reminds me of myself.
No, Snorlax is fire. How does it remind you of yourself though?
Well, I like to sleep. I like to eat. And, I got a little bit of a big belly that I'm trying to lose. You know what I mean?
All
You
right.
you, you guys see your boy in the fitness and running this course. Stop playing with me.
That's fair. That's fair. Um,
what do you think about these trades, Jordan?
that's funny. No, I mean I like them all. I mean you picking up Snorlax is fire because Snorlax is like the OG Trick Room. When did Trick Room become a thing? Was it a thing in Gen
I
One?
I want to say Gen 4, but I could be wrong.
That's fair. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a early Pokemon thing, but yeah, it's one of the OG Trick Roomers. It's a really good Pokemon under Trick Room naturally. So that's a cool pickup. Monkey Dory, one of the what is it? Legendary three? What are they called? I can't even remember.
Loyal,
The Loyal
loyal three,
three,
loyal
the
three.
Pokemon that got smoked in the
Damn.
canon. Yeah, they I mean
Mm-hmm.
they got demolished, bro. Um,
Yeah, man.
which is yeah, that's dark stuff. But um, no, good trade, guys. Ian trading Scizor to Aris for Araquanid. We could make some jokes. Didn't Ian leave Scizor in like against a flamethrower or something like that?
Yeah.
Something, yeah, notorious, some PLC lore. But he
Mm-hmm.
gets the Araquanid with the water bubble. Araquanid notoriously is pretty disgusting in rain, which Ian also
Mm-hmm.
has, so good stuff. And Aris grabs Scizor. Scizzor's pretty fire. Um, no pun intended. That's kind of funny. But then, yeah, the Reggie collection trading Dashbun to SB for Reggie Rock. That's actually pretty freaking funny too. I like Dashbun because I like Dachshunds. I like that breed of dog. So
Mm-hmm.
I like Dashbun for that reason. But it has a weird spelling of its name. Very strange. But yeah, Reggie Rock. Cool. Good stuff. So yeah, those are your trades.
Yes, sir. But now we're gonna get into the main course, which you've really all been waiting for.
Exactly.
We order food in the restaurant, and you see the waiter walk in, and you think like it's your food, but it's not. This is actually your food. This is the mid-season wire for I was gonna say 4-1, April 1st to April 5th. Um, just to reiterate again, everyone, with the addition of midseason, everyone had the opportunity to pick up a third Asterisk Mon for their team. Everyone also had an option of both two trades and two wires. So that is a combination, including weekend 8.5 as well as weekend 8.5 part two, which we'll get to. That is a total of 8 moves possible to switch up your team for the second half of the season. Well, to begin the second half of the season.
Mhm.
You know, I love it, man. I love it. It's my favorite time of the year.
It is fun. It is a good time.
Yes. Before I go into it, I do want to give props to Zach and Ian for again doing another great job on the mid-season list. Thank
Hmm.
you guys for putting in that time and that effort. I guess, but it's okay because I'm just a little upset that Walking Wake wasn't there, but it's okay. I'm just being salty. So, first off, we have Zach. His 2 moves are dropping Sandy Shock, Asterisk, picking up Raging Bolt, and dropping Alolan Persian, and then picking up Incineroar. So again, replacing Sandy Shock's Asterisk with Raging Bolt, and dropping Persian, and pick up Incineroar to get his third Asterisk. Amazing moves of Zach's team. If I go to Pikalytics, right now, I'm gonna see at least I want to say One, two, three. I'm gonna see three of his best Pokemon are at least top five. I want to say Rillaboom is definitely up there, Farigiraf's up there, Raging Bolt's up there, and so Cineroar. So it's literally we call it the VGC team because literally like what if you look at VGC, these are some of the top ones that are played. And it's a really scary team, man. I think was actually done a great job of creating this very like uncomfortable like when I say uncomfortable, it's like you can't really priority.
Hmm.
You can try to fight it in Trick Room, but that's also not ideal. And he has a lot of things that hit really hard. Rillaboom, Underground Terrain, once Raging Bolt gets like a Calm Mind off, that can be extremely dangerous as well. And then a lot of these things aren't going down in a single hit either. So it's like it's gonna take time. You can try to boost up your stuff, but then you just toss out Ditto. So I think
Right.
both moves are fantastic. I think Tornadus, like we're gonna get into a bit of that. Tornadus, coming back, also adds a really nice speed tier. So I just think it's a fantastic team, honestly. What do you think about the moves, Jordan?
Yeah, no, looking at Zach's team, he really does have a disgusting team. And it is
Mm-hmm.
very like Rillaboom, Raging Bolt, Farigiraf, um, Incineroar. Like that is like VGC staples right now. That's pretty
Mm-hmm.
crazy that he was able to put that together. So props to him. I love the moves. Um, and Sandy Shocks, I think I almost considered that on the wire. So that being out there is kind of uh, yeah, someone's gonna pick that up. Someone's got to pick that up. But Raging Bolt, Incineroar, spectacular move, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Justin. So again, I kind of mentioned on Justin's team a minute ago. He didn't have the third asterisk, which is kind of interesting. But Justin dropped Terrakion, which is an asterisk Mon, picked up Sinistra, which is an asterisk Mon, um, and he dropped Bramblegast for Lycanroc. So I mean, these moves they're relatively subtle. Terrakion, I mean, in our meta, it's been historically used as like a beat up on, or a beat up threat, anyways. And Sinistra is one of these new Pokemon from this newest generation, and
Mm-hmm.
it's actually from the DLC, isn't it? But
Yeah.
but it's got Machagacha. I think that has a chance to burn. It heals, does a whole bunch of stuff. It's a really good Pokemon. It's really fun. But I mean, I would have liked to see him come away with at least that third asterisk. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, they're moves. So Justin likes to play with Pokemon that he likes, and that's what he did. So good stuff.
Yes, sir. Whew. This guy. This next guy, man. Some people call him the American Sniper. Some people call him Mr. Snipe Man. I used to go by his people's champ every now and then, right? Fully gave that moniker to Chris.
Yep, yep.
But some people call me the cleaner.
A man of many names.
Man of many names, essentially, jack of all trades. But you know what my favorite name is?
What's that?
It's it's Mr. Snipe Your Ass Simon, Mr. Snipe Your Ass Jordan, you too, Mr. Snipe Your Ass Chris Beekman. And I think I did have a couple words for my fellow competitors. I don't know if you saw the post. I wrote a couple things. All love, I guess. So I dropped Paldean and Thoros, picked up Ursaluna Blood, as my third asterisk, and then I dropped Dash Legion Female and picked up Palafin. For me, I like Rescuing a lot. I just felt like I wasn't. I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't really working out. I think, as I said earlier, I feel like my team was very one dimensional. I felt like it would just be like the same core three or the same core four, and then maybe throw in like Regieleki or like Sneasler or Hatterene every now and then. So I felt like I needed to kind of expand and open up. And again, I was trying to get rid of Dusclops for a while. No one wanted it. So I just felt like why not lean into it? And I think Blood Moon under Trick Room is fantastic. I think it hits like a truck. Mind's Eye is a really stupid ability. To be honest with you, Blood Moon is also a really crazy move as well. And there's a lot of potential there. It hits really hard. For Palafin, I just want something that hits really hard on the rain, not necessarily that it needs Swift Swim because you could just Jet Punch. And I just think I wanted something on the physical side that if I need to, if in the right situation, it could be a nuke and literally kill almost everything that doesn't resist water pretty much
Mhm.
under rain. I feel like that's something that I can do pretty significantly now. And the option is there. So again, I just want to make my team a little bit more diverse, a little more open, not necessarily for swim based. Still have like Overquill, I think is the only Swiss swimmer. But
Hmm.
again, just wanted to open it up, not just bring rain, mess around, feel a little bit more with Trick Room. I did that like I think only 1 week, and even though I didn't win that week, it still had a lot of potential. So I feel like why not ease into it a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, these are good moves. I mean, to be honest with you, like Trick Room is just. I mean, if like my team does not match up very well with Trick Room, like I'll be the
Hmm.
first to tell you. So it's like if you
Hmm.
have that option, and the team that you're going against doesn't match up very well, it's spectacular.
Hmm.
And Blood Moon Ursaluna is, like you mentioned, spectacular in the Trick Room. So
Hmm.
good stuff. And then Palafin, I wanted Palafin as well. I'll get to my transactions in a bit, but yeah, you sniped me, so good stuff.
All right, I'm so sorry.
Good stuff. Good stuff for you, not for me. But yeah. Brendan. So Brendan dropped Sinistra. So we just kind of spoke to Sinistra a minute ago. But he dropped that for Landorus T, VGC stable, VGC stable since like 2012. Spectacular Pokemon.
Hmm.
Um, Great pickup. It's just that's not much more you can say about that. And then dropped Titan for Iron Boulder. Iron Boulder is the new um, what's the name of that Pokemon? Is it Terrakion? Is that the what it's
Yep.
based on? So
Hmm.
it's the new Terrakion variant, the future variant. I think it's probably the newest Paradoxmon too. But yeah, good stuff. I mean, I've seen it used a little bit in VGC as well. I actually am not
Hmm.
super familiar with it, but yeah, it's. I think you have to finish the new decks, don't you, to get it? So I've
Yep.
not even considered doing that just yet. But yeah, good on him. So just make sure you finish that dex and grab that because it's pretty powerful, or so I'm told.
Yeah.
But no, I like that. So that's exactly like what the midseason is for. Pick up that third Asterisk Mon that's powerful and
Hmm.
make your team that much better. So good stuff.
Yeah. 100%. I agree. I agree. Solid moves.
Hmm.
And yeah, Iron Bowler gets a really corny move. No, I'm sorry, that was rude. No, I forgot what is the name of
Isn't
it.
it like something
It's kind of,
cutter? Am I wrong?
it's something like that. I'm gonna look it up right now. But
Yeah, yeah.
essentially, it's just a move version of Urshifu's unseen twist ability.
Hmm.
So you can't protect against it at all, which is kind of cool. You know what I mean? As an Urshifu enthusiast, I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of the the Kung Fu Panda, but it carried me to finals. I don't care. Um, Mighty Cleave is the move. So
Yeah,
again, that I think that's pretty dope. That's
I
pretty
think
dope.
I was thinking of Terrakion cutter. Isn't that the other one, the
Yeah,
Cobalion
that's for
variant? Yeah,
yeah. Well, who cares about that one, dude? Like F that dude.
that's funny.
Next up, we have Ty dropping Miss Magius, picking up Venusaur, dropping OG Lilligant, picking up Entei, as well. I think these are fantastic moves. I'm a really big fan of them. As someone who's used Venusaur on their son in the past, wide lens with Sleep Powder is really, really, really fun. You could even you could throw in like a weather ball in there to kind of get some fire offense going, literally and metaphorically.
Hmm.
You can even Terrafire the Venusaur, which I think is pretty cool. You can go with the Energy Ball, the Classic, or the Giga Drain, and I just think to get the weather up, keep the weather solid where it is. I think Venusaur is a force to be reckoned with. Venus Mag, the OG Ligand Entei drop I like because Entei is just give it's kind of the same role that Hisuian Arcanine has and Dragonite have.
Hmm.
Where it's just like you slap on a choice band, you can go to a normal fit, and it just hits so hard, dude. It hits so hard, and then it's still resistant to intimidate, if I'm not mistaken, because of inner. Oh, is it inner focus? I think it. Or do they all have pressure? Let me see. I think they all have pressure.
No,
I
I
think
think
I
it does have
misspoke.
inner focus because I know you can't fake it out. It's just something I was.
Um, yeah, it does. It does have inner focus as
Yeah.
the hidden ability. So again, doing that, you get that intimidate resist. And the thing hits hard, man. It hits hard. You throw the sun up there, the thing come it's scary. You can set up even if you want to be like real crazy, you could like set up a flame charge if you want to go that route. But nah, uh, extreme speed is fine. But sacred fire is also like under sun is like really annoying, especially if you could do 50% burns. Like I think they're fantastic moves for time, man. And I think out of everyone so far who was 2-6, I probably would put my money on Ty with the moves he's made to kind of climb up a little bit into the upper echelons. Not
Yeah.
saying that no one else has a chance. I just feel like considering he's like right there with the plus minus wise, I think he probably has the best shot to move up a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I feel like his moves like perfectly complemented his team, like spectacularly, just perfect.
Hmm.
So I don't think he could have made better moves, honestly. So
Hmm.
yeah, good stuff. All right, so Ty, good stuff. Reese drops Scovillain. I don't like Scovillain for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was on my playthrough team, and it's just I thought I liked it, but I don't. So good on you for just dropping that, Reese. Good stuff. But picked up Goldango. So Goldango is like just pretty sick. Make it rain is pretty fire. Um, I mean, it's been a VGC. Was it not a? I don't want to call it a VGC staple, but I think it dominated like Series One or something like that. But
Yeah.
no, Goldango's fun. Goldango's a really good Pokemon. It can nasty plot. It can, I don't know if he has a haze user on it, but he can make it rain, and then he can haze right behind that. Didn't he trade for Murkrow? He traded you last weekend, didn't he? Am I tripping?
Um. Yeah, that was a couple days ago.
Okay, yeah, we'll speak to that, I'm sure. But yeah, so now he has Tailwind, he has Haze, he has make yeah, good stuff. Um, but yeah, Goldango's fun. And then he dropped Moltres. So Moltres is cool, and we'll talk to that in a little bit. I will personally. But he picked up Thundurus Therian, which is pretty freaking nasty. That's the sheer.
Hmm.
No, what's that's not the sheer force one.
No, that's Lando T.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
tripping.
no, not Lando T. Landers like the what's it called? Like the
Like
regular
genie
form.
form or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Landers incarnate. My bad.
no, I'm tripping. So Thundurus Therian. No, it's Volt Absorb. So it restores
Hmm.
HP if hit by an electric type move. So yeah, I was sorry guys. And that's not the prankster version. No, I don't know
No.
anything about Thunderous Therian. Now that I'm
Yeah,
thinking about it.
Thunderous is the Therian form of regular Thunderous incarnate is one we're prankster.
No, see, Thunderous and Tornadus, they trip me up. Those
Hmm.
two throw me off. I can't remember which one's which. And
No, it's okay because they both have the same Tornadus incarnate has. I'm 95% sure they both have prankster. Yeah, so they both have prankster and they both have defiant.
yeah.
Thunderous and Thunderous and Tornadus. Because in the lore, as I put my glasses on to bring out my Gen 5 nerdiness. In the lore, you know what I mean, Landorus was kind of like the Rayquaza of the trio. He was like, yo, like y'all tripping, stop fighting, what the hell's wrong with y'all? So, they made Thunderous and Tornadus kind of have the same abilities with the Prankster and Defiant.
Oh,
Switch it
sweet.
up with the Therian, but that's why they gave Landorus Sheer Force and Sand Force as opposed to the other ones getting the same
Huh.
moves. I take my Gen 5 nerd glasses off and continue, Jordan. I'm sorry.
Well, that's pretty cool. I learned something new because yeah, I didn't know any of that. So good stuff. Um, with all that being said, I guess I like the move.
Me too.
I can't speak intelligibly to it, but yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, Reese. Props to you.
Yes, sir. Next up, we have Brian dropping Hitmonlee, picking up Dragonite, and dropping Iron Thorn, picking up Volcarona. So picking up, replacing one asterisk and picking up another. I like the moves a lot. I like Volcarona a lot in the Terra meta, honestly.
Hmm.
I think just it being able to tank one hit with the amount of setup moves it has, it can get really out of pocket if not dealt with immediately. You can go Terra Water he's going against the Rain team. If he wants to like set Rain, he could like spam Hurricanes if he wants to do that. But I like the moves a lot. And as for Dragonite, man, Dragonite, member of the season 8 champion squad that Ares has. Again, we kind of spoke about it with Entei, where that row of just putting a choice band on it, slapping a extreme speed, and just Terra normaling. There's a lot, man. There's not a lot of things that can really take that hit, and even if take a hit, it's still gonna do close to around like 35 to maybe 40%, no matter what.
Right.
Non-resisted, as well. So again, love the moves, and I think it makes it a really solid team. He has a lot of good Pokemon. Thing with Brian is I feel like he doesn't have too much support, but I think he kind of helped that this past weekend. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, good stuff. I like the moves too. Dragonite's disgusting. Volcarona's pretty awesome. So good stuff. And he basically has an Iron Thorns still on his team
Hmm.
with the OG Tyranitar. So good stuff.
True.
All right, so I'm gonna tackle Jay Grants and then my transactions. right now. So Jay dropped Garchomp and picked up Iron Hands. That's a freaking solid pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Garchomp is powerful. Don't get me wrong. It's fast. It's powerful. It's pretty cool. But Iron Hands in our meta is freaking disgusting. That's an amazing pickup.
Mm-hmm.
And then she drops Revavroom for Pecharunt. And I don't know anything about Pecharunt. I still haven't done that part of the DLC. So I can't speak to that at all. But
Well, guess what? Let me put my DLC glasses on
throw them on. Let's
for
hear it.
for a couple seconds. Let me
I
tell you
know
about
it
Petra.
makes you dance funny, doesn't it?
Yeah, man, makes you hit the
Like the
what's
chicken
the
dance.
dance?
Yeah.
Yeah, that what's the movie that Chicken Little used to hit? It's crazy. Yeah, Petron's is an interesting one. So it is a mythical Pokemon from what I know, or legendary, who knows? But Petron's weird because it has 88 across the board,
Mhm.
right? In HP, special attack, regular attack, special defense, and speed. But it has a base defense of 160.
Oh my god.
It unfortunately does not get body press though. But it's a tank, man. And I think the main thing that it's there to do, it's there to just stick around and be annoying, right? Now,
Yeah.
let me tell you this, right? Um, Malignant Chain is a very interesting move, right? Because it's 100 base. That's a signature move. 100 base power, 100% accuracy, with a chance to leave it badly poisoned. It's a 50% chance. So it's like it's a toxic. It's not like, regular poison.
Right.
It's a toxic, right? The thing about what makes Petra annoying is with its ability. I forgot what it's called. It's something like puppet. Let me look it up.
Poison
Um,
puppeteer.
Poison puppeteer. So if you're let's say you get poisoned by this thing, you also get confused.
That
So
is
it's
nasty.
like
Jeez.
so it's like it makes your opponent also literally hits a chicken dance, like literally right there. But again, it has some decent moves, man. It has parting shot, it has nasty plot, and again, 88's not like the greatest special attack, but it can get up there. Um, get it because it's just very tanky. It's gonna be hard to take down, especially Poison's not the best defensive typing, but to me, it's always been a great offensive typing. So you even just being able to kind of Terra, like, and get rid of that get rid of that typing and be able to like Venoshock and stuff like that. I think it'd be pretty sick. And yeah, man, I think I like Petra. Me take my glasses off.
No, that's fun. That is pretty exciting. Very interesting Pokemon. I need to go catch it. Um, but that'll get done at some point. I hope. All right. So my moves. Now keep in mind, everybody. I
Oh
was in
no.
last week.
Mm-hmm.
We traveled to Disney World. We did the whole
Mm.
Florida thing, but we left here for an 8 hour drive on Saturday night at like 10 o'clock. Okay, in the evening, 10 p.m. So we could drive with the kids through the night so they could sleep. And then on Sunday, we were going to do our thing. I slept in the car for like 2 hours while my wife
Mm.
drove for those 2 hours and then got back up, finished the rest of the drive. We got to Daytona Beach at like 7 a.m. We stopped at a Buc-ee's there and then we finished the last hour getting to Disney World. But we basically had like 1 or 2 hours of sleep on Saturday night. Sunday, we did the SeaWorld thing all day until they closed. 9:30. Finally got to the Airbnb at like 11 o'clock, blah, 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 whatever. So that's all happening as we're heading into the midseason, okay? So I stayed up till midnight so I could try to get Palafin. Didn't get it. Jay. Um, and then I was like, I'm going to sleep. So I went to sleep. I was exhausted. Woke up the next day. We were doing Magic Kingdom. I don't even think I made a move till like Wednesday or something like that. I looked in Discord and I saw Kid Sid had said something about Rabsca. And I was like, oh, I remember. I was still tired. I was like, oh, I remember I wanted Rabsca at one point. I don't like Chestnut. Chestnut freaking sucks. Let me drop Chestnut for Rabsca. And I did it, and I probably fell asleep 5 minutes later. So
Mhm.
not the best move. Definitely not super proud of that one. But that was my first transaction. So that kind of sucked. But then Shiftry, I dropped Shiftry. It was a very one-trick pony for Iron Moth. Iron Moth is a Paradox Mon. Freaking love it. So I thought that one was much better, to say the least. But yeah, those are my picks. So last week was very busy for me, and I still came out with Iron Moth, so I'm cool with that. So Jay, what do you think about that?
Man. Uh, did you have a great time
It was fun.
at
It
Disney?
was a
Okay.
blast. Yeah, it was a good time. The kids had an
Yeah.
absolute blast. So that's what matters.
Yeah. I think that's what really counts.
Right.
No, I'm joking. But this is a serious note. I like the Iron Moth pickup. You know, to be honest with you, I was surprised that you didn't go for the Gudra. To be honest with you, because I
Oh
know how
yeah.
much you like Hisui and Gudra. Um, and I think Wrestling cool. It's cool, but we'll get into that later. With next weekend. No, I'm really excited to see you put in work with it. Wink, wink. Next stuff. We have Dan. I like the move. I like the move. We have Dan dropping Delphox, picking up the OG Arcanine, and dropping Magnezone, picking up Rotom Wash. Much to my anger. But it's okay. So love the moves. I think Arcanine's fantastic. You get that Intimidate. You get that. Am I going crazy? Does Arcanine get Flash Fire? I think it's Flash Fire. I'm not going crazy, right? Arcanine
I
gets
don't
Flash
know.
Fire.
I know
I'm
you usually run
95 for
intimidate
sure.
though, right?
Yeah, but what I like about Terra is that Terra kind of creates these nice little like weird combos. If
Yeah,
you want
that's
to run
right.
Flash Fire, you can bring a little bit of like a Terra Grass. You know what I mean? A little Terra
Mm-hmm.
Grass, a little Terra Steel. A little something something. Kind of switch things up, make those Flare Blitz hurt a little bit more. But yeah, usually you want to run Intimidate, or if you want to be really cheesy, you can run Justified too. But again, stream speed, all that cool stuff. I do think the OG one is now more the defensive one. You go Will-O-Wisp and all that stuff. I think you really want to be offensive on the Hisuian run.
Mm-hmm.
Instead. Love Rotom Wash, super tanky, very nice typing. Only one weakness across the board, typing wise. I'm really upset that it's not coming home to where it should be, but there's always next season. But love the moves for that.
Yeah, no, they are good moves. I mean, he basically, fire for fire, electric for
Mhm.
electric, good stuff. He came out with two. I don't even think it's debatable, but two better Pokemon of very similar types. So yeah, good
100%.
stuff, Dan. Really good week for you. Phil drops Rotom Mo, picks up Gouging Fire, freaking awesome. Entei, or he drops Entei, picks up Amoonguss. That one is debatable because Entei is really good, but Amoonguss is
Mm.
pretty nasty too. And I don't say that to. I like the pick because Amoonguss is a pain in the butt when you have
Yeah.
Trick Room. I don't know if he has Trick Room on his team. I would assume
Mhm.
so, but yeah, I mean it's a fine trade. Entei, you can run it a bunch of different ways, but Amoonguss is kind of there to put things to sleep, to potentially heal things up. You switch it back out. It's got Regenerator. You send it back in to tank
Mhm.
something that's you otherwise wouldn't, and it's just an annoying Pokemon to play against. So it's a really good Pokemon. Um, so I like it. I like his transactions from the week.
100%.
Pretty good stuff.
Um, I personally would have went with the Entei gouging fire combo. I thought that would have been fire. To be honest. But I get it. Gouging fire, like no, I like gouging fire just because I think out of the three, I think it's the coolest. To be honest with you, because it's like a Triceratops, and that's my favorite dinosaur. Um, I think it's cool. Especially because I think the fire dragon typing I think is really clutch. Cause you get rid of that fairy weakness. Burning Bulwark's a really cool ability. The thing about not raging fire, gouging fire is that you kind of like it's a weird mind game. So I'll give you an example, right? I was scrimming Phil last week a lot,
Mm,
and it's interesting because like the move is there, and it's like if you time it right, it's perfect. But if you don't time it right, like it's a weird thing where it's just like you get punished for it.
yeah.
So I like it a lot, and I just think it's out of the three, Wake, Bolt, and Gouging Fire. I think the skill cap on this one is the highest. And when I say that, it's Pokemon, so it's not like you know, but it's you kind of have that mix where you can go for the Dragon Dance and then you can hit it hard, but then it's like you also get that kind of defensive pivot where you can potentially halt someone's momentum by getting a physical attacker burned. You know what I mean? Just things like that.
Right.
So I love the moves for Phil. The second move for the Amoongus, I think it's interesting because Phil has Trick Room, but not a lot of things on his team are super slow. So, but he does have like a nice trick room core. He has Mudville and he has Big Volt, and now he has Mungus. And I think just being able to kind of eat up those hits, like with the Rage Powder, being able
Hmm.
to put something to sleep with the Spore, that just buys you so much time to kind of just like, you can set up, so you can even set up with the Gouging Fire on a slept target. We do have Sleep Claws in our meta, so you can't go too crazy with it. But even using like using your aggression to kind of fake out your opponent, where it's like you think they're gonna attack, you can just Pollen Puff like your other Pokemon and like bring it back up, things like that. So I like
Right.
the move
Right.
a lot.
Yeah. No, good stuff.
Next up, we have SB dropping Fletch in there. I didn't even know that that Pokemon was in our meta for Whimsicott and dropping Galarian Slowking and picking up Cobalion. Um, I personally hate Whimsicott with a passion. It's one of my least favorite Pokemon.
Oh no.
I think its hair is stupid. If it was up to me, I'd shave it all off. I like Cobalion though. But in all seriousness, I think Whimsicott's a great pickup. Of course, first that comes to mind is Prankster Tailwind. But you call, you know, you call a little cheese, a little worry seed. You know what I mean? Please don't please that'd be cool. But please don't bring worry. Please do not bring worry seed against me, SB. I will literally like lose my mind. Um, and Cobalion there, man. He has the beat up option now. You can beat up with the Whimsicott into the Cobalion. Like it's nice. It's a nice little option to have. Um, I will say, that man has a lot of fairy types on his team.
Mm.
He has three. That's a lot of fairy types. You know, that's what I'm really bad at math. What is that? A third?
A quarter, right?
Oh
Three,
wow, you
six.
see,
Yeah, a quarter. Yep.
that's
I got you.
I know Jay Way's gonna go crazy with that comment. He's like, "Uh, you Americans,"
Right. Right.
but yeah, a lot of fairies. Um, which a little, I don't know, makes me a little hesitant, but he has pretty decent bulk on a lot of his Pokemon, honestly. So it's gonna, let's see how the move plays out for
Yeah. No, I mean, the first thing is you drop a not great priority Tailwinder because that's what Fletchinder was there for. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. And then pick up Whimsicott, who's, I mean, arguably the best priority Tailwinder. I don't know.
him.
But yeah, no, good stuff for SB. So Ian is next. Ian drops Thunderous, which I told you guys a few minutes ago. I don't know anything about, and picked up Zapdos, the OG version, his tried and true. Um, Basically, when you think Ian, you think Zapdos, right?
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, I feel like it's a comfort mon for him. I feel like he might have even said that um,
Hmm.
last week at some point. I didn't keep up with chat too much because again it was crazy busy. But I think he said he was resisting the urge to try and grab it, but he ends up grabbing it. So
Yeah.
Zapdos is fire. Zapdos is really good, very tanky, very bulky. It's got what's it called? It's perfectly you can Disquake next to it. That's kind of a thing
Hmm.
that it can do. It can set up Tailwind. It's a really good Pokemon. So very
Hmm.
solid pickup for him. And again, something that he's comfortable with. We know that. So good stuff. And didn't make
Yeah,
a second
man.
transaction, which is interesting. Did he say he
Very
liked his
interesting.
team or
Yeah, man. He just felt like he didn't really have anything to drop, or
interesting? Yeah.
things that you wouldn't be willing to drop that you could probably like trade things
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure. Absolutely. Good
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's Zapdos calls out to him like the Green Goblin mask does
Right.
Norman Osborn.
Right. And he traded Scizor too, so he doesn't have to worry about that whole little thing.
Wow.
Then he got rid of
Jordan.
Scizor and picked up Zapdos.
Boo, 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 boo.
That's
Boo, boo,
funny.
boo, boo, boo.
Yo, he set himself up for that one. I didn't do
Boo, boo, boo,
that.
boo. Next up, we have Mike dropping Staraptor, picking up Iron Leaves, and dropping Noivern and picking up Pincursion. You know, dropping two two okay flying types. I think Noivern's pretty cool. I think Star's pretty cool as well.
Hmm.
But he picks up the Pincursion, man. To kind of give those Paradox Pokemon a little help. Now there's a little bit more diversity in just the item choice.
Hmm.
Usually you want to go with the boost energy, of course, but now he has the electric terrain, so now he can go like iron treads. It's really fast. He can put like to make it the fastest thing in the field, you could put a scarf on it, or
Hmm.
you could put an assault vest on it. You know what I mean? Just to make it a little bit more tanky. Same thing with leads. You could put a life orb on there. You can put like something else to kind of mitigate that damage. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that was a really good move for him, and I think it adds a lot of synergy to his team. Um, already, which already had a decent amount of synergy. And now he has two terrains he kind of juggle and play around with as well, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's true. No, I mean they're good pickups. Iron Leaves looks weird, in my opinion.
Whoa, whoa,
It's a weird
whoa,
looking Pokemon,
whoa.
but no, it's good though. And then Pincurchin again. When you have weather and terrain, they're pretty solid. In our meta, when you have that something
Hmm.
that just sets it up, um, I think it's pretty cool. So good pickups for him. Good stuff.
I'm
Um,
trying to find sorry to interrupt you.
no, you're fine.
I'm trying to remember what the signature move for Iron Leaves is, and it's making me upset because I can't remember it.
It's probably Scary Face because it's got a scary looking face.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's
Speak
not
for
its
me.
face. It's just Virizion is a weird looking Pokemon. And then Iron Leaves, like, is just a robot Virizion, which is strange. Yeah, it's weird looking. It's shiny as fire, though. Goodness.
Hmm.
I just
The
happened
move is
to.
called Psyblade. I've
Okay.
never heard of that in my entire life. But if the user is in long term with the base power is increased to 120. That's kind of crazy. So it does 80 naturally, but in electric terrain it does 120 and it's a psychic type move.
Interesting stuff.
Hmm.
Interesting stuff. Still looks very strange, but
Wow.
taking the aesthetics out of it, it's still a good Pokemon. So good stuff. All right, Evan made one move as well, which is again kind of interesting. But he dropped Sceptile, picked up Don Dozo, which is we have Tatsugiri, right? Speakman
Yeah.
has it. Interesting stuff. I wonder if there's any conversations going on there because if
Well,
there
hmm,
weren't, I'd probably try to have those convos. Um, but I mean,
we
I
will
think
get to
Don
that
Dozo.
later.
Yeah. Oh, did they make that? Well, yeah, we'll probably.
We'll we'll get to that later.
Okay, we'll speak to that in a few. Again, I was a little tuned out last week, but
Yeah, man. It's man chilling with Mickey Mouse and them. I wish I was.
so yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just let's table this Dondozo conversation for a little later. But I guess it was a good pickup. I guess so. Um, fun. Speaking of Speakman, Jay, do you want to tackle that?
Yeah, dropping Palma, which I like. I'm surprised he dropped Palma actually.
Popo!
Picking up Hydreigon, Chris openly said he hates Iron Jugular, so he decided to go back in time and then pick up the correct version, the right version, the modern version. Props to him. And he also dropped Rabambi for Enamorous Therian. Now, let me tell you something. Let me put my Legends Arceus glasses on, right? Let me tell you something about this. Tell you something about this turtle. No, I'll be honest with you, Jordan.
Mhm.
So when I was looking at Season Wire, Enamorous was something I was really also looking at, right? I was suggested by Zach and couple people, and I was like, I have rain. So my assumption, right, was that with Thunderous and Wild Bolt Storm, it hits 100% in rain.
Mhm.
Um, with Tornadoes, Bleak Windstorm, 100% in rain. Landorus, for some reason, Fancier Storm, which is a ground type move, if I'm not mistaken. Just double check. In rain, might be 100%.
Mm.
Let me just Google that. I'm just joking about the last one.
You had me all the way tuned in. I was like, interesting.
No, while used during rain, bypasses accuracy checks to always hit. This is a ground type move. There is no rain. I mean, there's no dirt in the area. It's sand. Whatever, bro. Anyway. Oh wait. No, because it's water and it's sand. I watched One Piece. I've seen Luffy beat Crocodile, but it's okay. For those who get that reference, appreciate y'all. But yeah, but for some reason, Springtide Storm, which is an Amorous signature move, is in 100% in rate.
Yo,
Crazy. That's
eh,
fucked up. All right, excuse my language. That's messed up. So then I was just like, damn. So now I'm definitely going to Ursula the Blood Moon because now I was like, messed up. It's a cool looking turtle. A lot of people don't like the way Nemesis looks. I think it looks pretty cool, honestly. It's a turtle, bro. It's fire.
it's a
That's all I'd
very
say.
yeah, no, it's a very strange Pokemon.
It's the Pokemon of love, though, bro. Like of love, literally of love. That's his thing. It literally left because there was no more love in the world. That's fucking deep, bro.
It's so weird looking though.
Oh, okay, okay, dude. That's all right, man. All right, buddy.
um, no, interesting stuff. But yeah, that move though, 80% accuracy is pretty. I mean, I'm gonna say it. 80% is
Yeah,
trash. 80% is like might as well be 6%. You know?
yeah. I'll say like when the move hits, like it can literally it lowers the attack, which is actually pretty clutch in a lot of situations. But again, just like the accuracy check, like
Yeah.
I miss hydro pumps on the daily basis, and I know how much I hate that. But and not only that, you also factor in that spread moves also have that lower damage output in doubles. You know, that's another thing where it's just like at that point, you just run Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam in its place, you know, because at that point, is it really worth like the miss? You know what I mean?
Right.
But I like an Emrys, and I think with Chris's team. He has a solid kind of, he has our belief. Our believer, because I was Ghanaian's case while pronouncing it wrong. He has Cresselia and he has the Namorous. Those are three very tanky Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I think to the next edition with Hydreigon, I think that's also something that um he wants to Tailwind, but he also kind of have that choice specs to kind of put in a lot of that damage in there as well. What do
Right.
you think about the moves, Jordan?
No, good stuff.
That was a lot.
I like them. Yeah, and it's cool to see Speakman's like you have players that get associated with Pokemon. He hated the Iron Jugulus. Now he has the Hydreigon. That's kind of cool to see. You know, it's a
Hmm.
very interesting development within the season. So that's cool. And then Namorous looks weird. So, um,
Whoa,
but
whoa,
good stuff.
whoa.
Um, J Wade. So
Come on, come
J
on,
Wade,
come on. Well, tell me something.
yes.
Does that make sense to you though? That it's called Sandsear Storm and it hits 100% in rain?
N-
Sand
no, that makes
Sear.
zero sense. You would think that there'd
Okay.
be some type of like mud at
I'd
play
say like
there.
maybe
Yeah,
like, yeah.
that
Like
doesn't
at that
make any
point,
sense.
just call it muddy water.
Right.
Oh.
Well, like if it was in sand, right? That makes perfect sense, right? Sand sear storm in sand is 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm there with you. But in the rain, yeah, that's very strange. Very very strange. And then the fact that this one, all the other ones are 100% accurate, this one's not. It's very strange. Um
No love, man.
yeah. Fair. It got no love. Interesting. Interesting development in the enamorous
Hmm.
Therian uh, discourse in the PLC. But all right, so Jay Wade is coming off of getting demolished in week 6, 3 weeks
Jesus.
ago. But last week he dropped Halucha for Galarian Moltres. That's a really good pickup. Galarian Moltres is
Hmm.
fire, so that's really good for him. And dropped Bronzong for Serena. So Serena's pretty good in our meta as well. It's got that Farigiraf ability. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, that's and the Bruxish ability. It's just that ability is awesome. It's great.
Hmm.
And then Serena, I think, can hit pretty hard physically as well. But Galarian Moltres, love that pickup for him. That's a really good Pokemon. Something I kind of thought about, but ultimately didn't, even attempt. But he picked it up, and that's awesome to see. So good stuff. And then Serena again, good stuff too. So yeah, Jay, what do you
Hmm.
think about those?
I like it a lot. With what's it called, like Queenly Majesty, something like that. Queenly
Mm-hmm.
Majesty.
Yeah.
It's dope because a lot of the things that the Moltres especially, he also has the Meow Stick, and I think a lot of the things on Jaywee's team like to go first. So I think offering something that protects it from priority, I think of the Reggie Drago and wanting to get those dragon energies off. If he has a scarf usually, or specs, he kind of has that speed advantage right now. Having Tusk in the back and not Tusk not being able to be hit by like a fake out or any type of like Aqua Jet or anything like that with Serena out, I think is pretty clutch too. And Moltres, man, that thing is just like it's insanely hard to take down. Dark Flying is one of the best defensive typings in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you don't get hit with the super effective fighting, and you also don't get hit by the powerful ground type moves. So and it can set up nasty plot, and then fiery wrath is just a really stupid move
Mm-hmm.
itself. So I think for Jayway, I think it's a fantastic team. Honestly, it's a great pickup for him.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Next up, we have wrapping up. We have Simon, switching his Hisuian Pokemon, dropping Braviary for Gudra, and dropping Alolan Raichu finally, and picking up Umbreon. I like the Umbreon pickup a lot because he could spam Yawn via Will Roker. Just not too much because that's the reason why we have a sleep clause. Literally, that match is the reason. Like, I was like, we're not doing this ever again. S- and then the Guja, I felt like it was really needed just because I think a lot of things on Simon's team can't take a hit, to be honest with you. So
Hmm.
like, Typhlosion, not really. Reuniclus, I at times. Glacier, at times. Umbreon, I think helps out with that bulk too. But Spectrier can't take the hit, and that's one of his hardest hitting Pokemon as well. But again, you put up like Jordan, you know from the egg tournament, you put up those shelters and you start body pressing. Like this thing
Hmm.
is like near impossible to take down,
Right.
and you know what I mean. Like, and it's adorable. It's like the cutest thing ever.
Yo, it is a really good Pokemon. And mine in the
Mm-hmm.
egg tournament wasn't even like it was EV, but I didn't have the proper IVs, and it was still putting in work. I didn't think it had
Mm-hmm.
a proper ability either, but yeah, no, not ability, but nature, and it was still putting in work. It was Hisui and Guja really is a good Pokemon, so that's really cool for him to pick up. And like you said, Raichu, it really wasn't doing much on his team, so he had dropped the Pincurchin like 2 months ago, so he
Mm-hmm.
was just chilling for a bit. And Umbreon is pretty solid, so Umbreon is a good
Yep.
Pokemon in our meta, so good stuff. All right, so Jay, those are the transactions. Do you just want to jump into the trades and kind of talk about everything from mid-season
Yeah,
to
man.
end? Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So oh, it was your trade.
yeah. Well, I actually, I can speak to this really quick. SB
Mm-hmm.
traded Hisui and Decidueye to me for Luxray. Um, I think we had discussed the trade like a couple days before midseason even opened up, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I'll try Hisui and Decidueye. I knew for a fact I was gonna be dropping Chestnut soon, so I was like, yeah, I'll have that grass type coverage with that, and I'm really not using Luxray like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Now that's Luxray is still a good Pokemon. You got, you can run it with Guts, you can run it with Intimidate, but I just I don't know, I wasn't using it, and I didn't really ever want to try Guts because so it was like I was kind of like pigeonholing myself into the Intimidate, and I was like, yeah, I can let it go, it's fine. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so I mean, I like Hisui and Decidueye. It looks kind of cool, and it's a cool looking Pokemon. So we did that.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that. It's one of out of the three new starters, it was also my favorite, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, it is cool.
Um, yeah, has a hat, man. That's fire. Next up, we have Brendan trading Obama Snow to Jay Grant for Inteleon. We saw Brendan also drop Obama Snow. Oh, no, did I just say Obama Snow? Yeah, trading Obama Snow. What did he drop? He drops to Titan
Hmm.
for so kind of getting rid of that little hail slash ice core
Right.
slash snow core he had. Because I don't know why they keep changing the name of it, but yeah, he kind of got rid of that, and I think it's smart, you know. I think he has a very solid trick room team, but not a lot of other Pokemon he has are truly fast. So Landorus at that point and Tauros probably the fastest thing there. Naito and Inteleon, you have a little bit more speed in there as well. So I think that's a pretty nice addition for him. And he has Meowscarada. I forgot about Meowscarada. So four now very fast Pokemon. Inteleon can put in so much work with that scope lens into the snipe shot as well. So I think I like the trip for both parties. Grant's also kind of putting up a little bit of, her own kind of. Well, she dropped Mama Snow, so never mind. Never mind. I take what I was about to say back, but more on that later.
No, fair. So I mean, I think it's like good Pokemon for good Pokemon, so good stuff. And Inteleon was one of my favorite, not one of my favorite, but it was like my favorite Gen 8 starter final Evo. I liked Inteleon. Inteleon was dope.
Hmm.
It was my personal choice. So Inteleon's pretty awesome. But all right, so Zach trades Tornadus Therian to tie for Volbeat. So Zach got Volbeat now.
Hmm.
And I'm looking at all these things. Wait.
We'll get there. Trust me. I know what you just looked at. We're
Yeah.
gonna get there. Trust me.
So okay. So he trades Tornadus for Volbeat and good stuff. Is this the buyer's remorse? I'm not gonna get into it. We'll tackle it in just a few. Um, but yeah, fun trade. I'm sure they like that trade so much they wanted to try it again. But
Yeah.
yeah, good stuff. Yeah, nothing else on that. I'm good.
Next up, we have Ian trading Mesprit to Phil for Weird Deer. Now, so I was surprised because I know Ian really likes Mesprit. I was surprised that Phil traded it because I thought Weird Deer was a really cool Pokemon. Um, and I think for both parties, I think it's pretty cool. I think Phil gets a nice, very versatile Pokemon in Mesprit that can do a lot. And it's very unpredictable in what kind of set you can run. You can run like a defensive one. You could run in like an offensive one if you want. It's like it's the middle, as of being the physical one, Uxie being the defensive one. It's the one right dab in the middle. There's a
Mhm.
lot of different ways you can go about it, which I think is pretty cool. Um, for Ian, I like Weird Deer a lot just because I like Pokemon that Game Freak doesn't like violate with their base stats. So Weird Deer, they gave it literally the exact same attack and special attack, but it works because it has the bulk and it can set Trick Room. It has Intimidate. Side Shield Bash also increases that bulk even more. You get a defense boost, I believe, every time it hits the move as well. So I think I like the move for both parties. I'm interested to see how they'll shape out as the season winds down these next 4 weeks.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a pretty good trade. Weird Ear is another interesting looking Pokemon. I'll just say interesting.
Wow. Whoa,
But
whoa, whoa.
no, it's a fun trade though. Psychic for psychic. Weird Ear psychic, right? Yeah,
Yeah, it's a psychic normal.
psychic normal. Very very interesting. Um, Good stuff. All right, so Jay Wade trades Talonflame to Speakman for Pheasantipity. Um, Talonflame is a good mon. Pheasantipity is a good mon, so I like the trade. This is just good Pokemon for good Pokemon. Fun stuff.
Yeah, I hate Physical, but that's just me. Um, you know what it was? I ran it. What was it like that random battles we did like when the season was about to begin?
Mhm.
That shit did no work for me. It had no motion, but it's okay. It's cool. It's cool looking.
I think Pheasantipity is one of those mons that like it just needs to get set up a little bit. It's kind of like I think of it as like a Suicune type mon where it's like it's not going to come out and just start smoking things. It's got to get a little
Yeah,
set up, and sometimes that doesn't necessarily work out. But I mean, it's still one of those loyal three. Only got
yeah.
killed in the game. Um,
Hmm.
got smoked, but came back.
Well,
Fun stuff.
have you finished like the DLC, Jordan, by any chance?
I haven't finished the second part of Kitakami, so like the
Uh,
the Pecharunt part.
gotcha.
But yeah,
Yeah, that was meant off topic. I'm sorry. I was just curious.
no, it's all
Um,
good.
next up we have Ian trading Mammoth to Simon for Hydrapple. Now,
Oh wait, you missed the Brendan trade.
damn, I was about to eat I was about to eat to this trade, but
No,
well, I'll
go
get
ahead, go
to it.
ahead. No, jump in, jump in.
No, it's okay, because we're gonna get to it in the next transfer window. Um, like the move. We spoke a little about how Chris kind of has that nice little bulky trick room core that he's kind of building with the Cresselia, the Enamorus, and the what's the other Pokemon? What's the other Pokemon? And the Arboliva. No, again, but a lot of his team was also now kind of like fast. It wasn't super fast. But
Mhm.
now, with the moves he did, throwing in the Talonflame, throwing in the Greninja, he now can kind of go both routes. He can set up the Trick Room, he'll set up the Tailwind, it's kind of just maintain that speed control, which I think is pretty cool. And Greninja in the Terra meta is kind of like how I feel about Cinderace. There's a lot of cool possibilities you can kind of do with it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Especially if you kind of pivot it out. So I think I like both trades and wires that Chris made this.
No, that is cool. That is exciting to see. And
And it's all fits hard.
yeah, no, I love is fun. The Lake Trio, fun mons. And I just kind of glanced forward just because out of curiosity. But yeah, Ian trades Mamoswine to Simon for Hydrapple. Good trade. It's so nice. Let's do it twice. More to come.
Disgusting.
And Jay, that leads us to your trade.
Yes. And damn, who wrote this? Oh, uh, I traded Reggie like to SB for King Gambit. The way it's written in the transaction said somehow trades. And I'll tell you this. Let me tell you how this trade came about. I had to call in a couple favors. I'll tell you that. I had to speak to the Don himself. And I had to say, hey, like, what do you think about this trade? And he was like, "Yeah, you should go for it." And then from that point, I took it to SB, spoke to some other people, and then they, he was just like, "Sure, let's do it." And I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." For SB, he's getting a very fast Pokemon, which can also really help. Well, first of all, if you sort of tell when Reggie like you're like unless the point has priority, you not go first. Like I don't. Electro Web really hits hard as someone who's Electro Web enthusiast. That hits stupid with like the transistor boost and the magnet hits really hard. For me, as I said with someone earlier, I did want to like kind of switch it up and I don't know if you know this, Jordan. King Gambit is my favorite Pokemon of this generation.
Oh, that's
If
cool.
you guys have battled me recently, you may know that my icon is a shiny King Gambit.
Oh, there we go.
Um, so and like I just love everything about it. I love its versatility when it comes to Terra type things. I love being able to kind of set it up with it because again, once you get like let's say again, Steel Fighting reference weakness. Once you get one of those weaknesses off, even a super effective move, it's still gonna take a lot this thing. And after it gets the swords dance stuff, it's really like it's a nuke button. It can go with the trick room aspect of my team. I just feel like if I want to be super annoying, I can maybe do like a tailwind speedy version. If I want to be really stupid, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, it's just another part of me wanting to just switch everything up, and I'm using one of my favorites. So it's like, why not?
No, that is cool. That is cool to see because it's always fun to battle with Pokemon that you like. So
Hmm.
good stuff. That is awesome. Um, good stuff on you guys. All right. So Simon, I'm gonna read it verbatim. Simon trades the last good thing he had, giving Cleavor to Reese for
Jesus,
Scizor. I don't know who wrote that. That's disrespectful.
that's mad disrespectful. Wow.
um, but if you look at it, Cleavor past Scyther, Scizor kind of future modern Scyther. Um, interesting trade. But yeah, Cleavor for Scizor. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Like I think Scizor is the better Pokemon. I want to
Mm-hmm.
start by prefacing that right now. I think Scizor by far. If you ask a lot of people which one you'd want, they're probably gonna say Scizor. To me, in my opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Cleaver's fantastic. I think the reason why everyone's so upset about this trade is because everybody wanted everything else on this. Like I wanted Scizor, someone else wanted Scizor, Zach wanted Cleavor, someone else wanted Cleavor, and it's just like, what the heck, bro?
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
that is
It's
funny.
okay. I think it's a decent trade for both sides.
Mm-hmm. No, good. That's true.
And that's it. It's a decent trade. Next up, we have Mike Train Superior to Denver Crocodile. I like the move for Mike just because now he gets something that can't be hit by his own psychic terrain, which I think is pretty cool. If you also want to be really like cheesy, you can also run like some like anger point strikes with it as well. Or you can go with the classic intimidate. You can never go wrong with that. Or you can just go with the Moxie. I think Crocodile is a really solid Pokemon when it gets going. And you know what I mean? I think under psychic terrain, if he gets speed control, it can't be outsped. If he next to Gastron, can't be hit with a water move. And he can
Right.
change his type, which I think is also really cool as well. As for Den, I think Superior is really slept on, to be honest with you. With the Stellar Terra typing and the contrary, it just puts in so much work, bro. Like it puts in like once it just gets that one special attack stuff, the fact that it's so fast put that together with again another psychic terrain, which now you can't fake out. You can't like what's the other priority move? You can't like sucker punch it, anything like that. No extreme speed, so that's a little bit more protection for it as well. So I think on both sides, it's a very solid move for each trainer.
Yeah, no, it was a good was a good move for both of them. I've heard a lot about this Stellar Terra Superior, and I think Stellar Terra Malamar as well. Like the contrary, I'm yet to see how that plays out, but could be interesting.
Yeah,
I do play Dan this week too, so I gotta keep that in mind. But all right, so going on, Zach feels buyer's remorse and gives Volbeat back to Ty for Tornadus T.
yeah. What the hell was that about, dude?
Yeah, that's you got two trades, I suppose. that's one way to use them.
Yeah,
Interesting stuff. So yeah, it was so nice he had to do it twice. Good stuff, guys.
yeah. From what I know, I feel like Ty just felt like Tornadoes wasn't really doing anything in the scrims. And you just
Oh,
want to just
okay.
give Volby back. You know what Tornadoes was doing, Volby could do too, I guess. And as for Zach, I guess he just wanted a little bit of a better speed tier for a team that's already not the fastest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's interesting. That might be the first time we've seen something like that happen, like in the same week. But
In the
yeah,
same window. That's very,
yeah, yeah.
very strange. But
That is
if they
interesting.
like it, they like it. You know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. Well, yeah, that wraps up. So, Jay, those are all the transactions and trades from the mid-season buy. Anything that you want to speak to before we head to last weekend stuff?
I think everyone did a good job. Everyone did a good job. Some of us, for some reason, made great progress, but decided to throw it all away. In the very next window. But it is okay. I think everyone's team came out better. I think there were a couple of snipes. Not to tip my hat, but overall, I
Mr.
think
Snipe, man.
what I mean. Like Mr. Sniper, that's what they call me. Um, but I still think everyone's team, whoever got something inside, they came out better. I think all the teams got a significant upgrade in a lot of departments that they needed, to be honest with you. That's how I feel about my team. I know a lot of people feel about their team now, where it's just like, you have so many good things that you kind of don't want to drop anything now. You're kind of in that space. Um, but again, props to everybody for making those moves and those adjustments. And again, I'm very excited to see how the season will play out going forward.
Nope, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And yeah, it was a very strange week for me. Again, I was out of it for the whole week. Didn't really see any of the chat, any of the dialogue, but it seemed like it was very fun. So that's good to see. But all right, with that being said, we'll jump into Transfer Weekend 8.5, Part 2. This is from last
Yes,
weekend,
sir.
last Saturday and Sunday. And Zach, Justin, and you, Jay, you guys didn't make a move. So we jump straight into Brendan dropping Belly Bolt for Rotom Fan.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that's fine. Rotom is a good Pokemon. Belly Bolt is kind of a niche mon, so I'm okay with the transaction. Yeah, that makes
Mhm.
sense to me.
Yeah. Next up, we have Ty dropping Glass Score, picking up King. It's
That's
it's
funny.
cool. Like I
That's
like
funny.
it's Rotom fan. Like it's
Right, right,
cool. Like
right.
it's okay. I like it. It looks really cool. Out of the four, I think it looks out of the four. I think it's fourth place in looks. Next up we have Ty dropping Glass Score, picking up Kingdra. Um, this is an interesting move. Like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. To be honest with you, I really don't know. You get the Volby back, so you want to set up the rain, but it's like I don't
Y-
know.
Yeah, no, it
I
is kind of
really don't know.
strange
I
because Todd
don't
does
know.
have the sun, so that is an interesting pickup. But I mean, to each their own. Yeah, it's an interesting one, like team fit wise. But yeah, Glass Core's on the wire, so you guys go do your thing.
Does Kingdra learn Solar Beam? Question mark.
Interesting. We may be onto something.
What is he cooking?
Yo, let
What
Ty
is what
cook.
is what is he cooking? I guess Weather Ball. You know what I mean?
There we go.
Terrifier Weather Ball. That's what I'm talking about. Like what? That's hard. That's hard.
um, no, fun stuff. So it'll be interesting to see Kingdra in the sun. But Reese didn't make a move this past weekend. So we jumped to Brian. Brian dropped Yuxi for Kilowattrel. Kilowattrel's okay. Kilowattrel's, you set up the Tailwind. That gives you, I think it's the charge ability or something like that, where it makes your electric type moves. I think when I played Simon, it just bodied one of my Pokemon. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's an okay move too. So I think we're noticing a trend where we got out of the high powered stuff and we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing some fun stuff happen now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
My experience with Killwatcher when I played Simon was I killed that shit out the gate. Next, but remember how I said earlier how Brian's team's like a little bit more, he needed like a little bit more support. I
Mhm.
think Killwatcher kind of fits that role because now you have a very fast tailwinder. You kind of throw out there. Like you also kind of with like the Wind Rider, as you mentioned, like it was also kind of. it's a nice way to kind of if you wanted to just mess around, you know what I mean, with some cheese. You know what I mean? You
Mm,
could do that as well.
fair,
So I
fair.
like it. I like the move for him as well. Next up, we have Jay dropping a bomb of snow, playing to get the hell out of here, and picking up Orpworm. No, I'll go for him. I think it looks really funny. That's my favorite thing about it. It looks very funny. Um, but I think it's a nice switch in for a lot of Pokemon she has, especially like Iron Hands, Rule Edge. A lot of her stuff kind of gets hit really hard on types. So I think kind of just having that option to kind of like catch someone off guard, kind of eat that attack, both literally and metaphorically, I think is pretty cool as well.
Right. No, Orthworm is cool, and it'll be cool to see. That shed tail. It is shed tail, right? In Cyclozar,
Yeah.
that's the move. Yeah. So it'll
Hmm.
be fun to see if she can kind of implement that. That'd be cool. All right. So next is my move. I dropped Rabsca, which I just picked up the week before, for Moltres because Moltres is cool. And in a Terra meta, it can be a little better than it historically has been, avoiding that 4 times
Hmm.
weakness to rock. So I just was like, what was I thinking with the Rapska? That was a very strange move. Let me go ahead and drop it for this Firebird. So
Hmm.
I like the move.
I do too. Hate Moltres this gen. Little PTSD from my Manchkin side, but I like the move for you. I like the move for you a lot.
Good stuff. I appreciate it.
You have Dan dropping for Alligator, picking up Metagross. This was surprising. I know. I thought Dan's favorite Pokemon was for Alligator. I think it
Right?
still
Yeah.
is. But sometimes you just want to win. You know what I mean?
Fair.
I respect that. So,
Yep.
drop flag, to pick up Metagross, which is the beast, not affected by Intimidate. Kintera, if you want to get rid of like the psychic, you know what I mean, or the anything like that, to kind of make it that full bulk. And you can go for a lot of like cool moves, bro,
Right.
on Metagross. So Metagross itself just my favorite of the pseudos as well. I don't know if it's your favorite, Jordan. Um, Great Pokemon all around. And I'm eager to see what he's gonna do. But man, Dan's good. Dan's good. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do.
No, that's very fair. And again, him dropping for Alligator is interesting because again trainers are synonymous with Pokemon, and for Alligator is one of those Pokemon I associate with Dan. But again, sometimes you just want to win, so that's fair. Very well
It's,
put.
it's, it's like the meme where the guy's about to shoot the dude, but like he what's it called? He's crying.
Yeah.
You know, some moment when he has the gun pointed out and there's tears falling down his
Oh
eyes.
yeah, the New Jack City meme. Yeah.
New York see
Right, right.
kind of like that.
Fair. Fair, fair, fair. All right. So Phil drops Gardevoir, picks up Corviknight. Um, I feel like these Pokemon do different things. Gardevoir, you think, the Trick Room mode. Corviknight, you can set up Tailwind. It can also body press, things like that. So, and one's special, one's physical. So, I mean, they do different things, but they're both good in their own respect. So, I'm okay with the move. I'd have to look at
Hmm.
Phil's team to kind of, you know, say whether or not I like it 100% or whatever. But they're both good mons, so I'm okay with the move. A
Hmm.
solid transaction.
I agree. I agree. Next up, we have SB dropping Morgrim, picking up Miss Magius. I like it. Morgrim is, as we like to call it, Grimmsnarl Light, which is my favorite like nickname for it. Again, it can do a lot of the great things Grimmsnarl does, Thunder Wave, screens, all that fun stuff, but doesn't truly have the bulk even with the EVO Light. Um, Miss Magius I like as well, just because it's very fast, but also very versatile. And I think with Terra type, it can kind of increase a lot of its useful parts.
No, that's
That's all I
fair.
got. It's a great Pokemon. What's this girl's name? The electric type gym leader in the game. She like used it with Charge Beam, so he could even do that and copy her.
Hmm.
Because that Miss Magius put in work against me, against my like in game team for like the story. I was like, damn, I might actually like lose against the gym leader for the first time in like since I was like 3. I was like, god damn. Um, and it was crazy, man. But one thing about Miss Magius, sure, a lot of people don't know. Let me tell you a story about Miss Magius, right?
Let's hear it. Let's
Tell you a
hear it.
story, right? There was one time, right? Did you know Miss Magius gets mystical fire,
Interesting. No, I didn't.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So when I first saw it, I was like, "Yo, this is the coolest Pokemon ever," right? And then I saw like Mystical Fire, and I was like, yo, this is crazy, da da da, you know. But then I saw like a Destiny Bond, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, what if I use this Pokemon to kill other Pokemon by killing itself? And I was like, wow.
Did it
And I was just
work?
starstruck. That's what I'm
Yeah, did it work?
saying. I don't know, but the the vision is there, SB. The
No,
vision
that's
is
fair.
there. It's right for the taking. Yes, that's all I'm saying. It's right there.
That is fair. No, SB should reach out to
Mm-hmm.
Ian because that's another Pokemon that I associate with Ian. So I think Ian was
Really?
a fan of it for was it no, it wasn't the off season. Maybe it was last year, the year before. I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember, but yeah, I feel like and I could be mistaken in saying that, but I think Ian has used it to some pretty good success in the past. So reach out to Ian. He's our Miss Magius expert. Um,
I guess enthusiast.
exactly. So speaking of Ian, he didn't make a transaction this past weekend. So we're gonna skip right to Mike, who dropped Mabastiff and picked up OG Gudra. Um, I mean that's I like Gudra. Gudra's really good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and Mabastiff haven't really used it personally. Haven't really seen it too much competitive, uh, like in the competitive space. But I mean, I like Gudra, so I like the move. It's something
Mm-hmm.
that I co-sign. I like it.
I like it too. I like it too. Especially like, bro, like I wouldn't forget as the Hisui one is like infinitely better.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing puts in work, man. It's still really hard to kill, and it's like the special attack stat. It's high enough where it's like it can hit like solid chip as the game goes along. You know what I mean? Which I think is pretty solid.
Right? No, I agree.
Next up, we got Jay Wade dropping Blastoise, picking up Gardevoir. Now this is an interesting move. But I like it because Gardevoir has a lot of kind of cheesy abilities and moves to kind of help protect a lot of his big heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he can go with the telepathy. So if he doesn't want to like, if he wants to go a little bit crazy with some of his Pokemon, the Gardevoir won't get hit. He can run Alex Switch on it as well. Really cheesy with Synchronize and Trace, which I think is pretty cool as well. And I think it's just a great support Pokemon to kind of help a lot of the hard hitting stuff on his team. And if he wanted to be a little crazy instead of Trick Room, you know, he can. I know Jayway's not the Trick Room enthusiast, but a lot of different things that he can do with this Gardevoir. Icy Wind is a pretty cool kind of thing to have in your back pocket. He can also, which I think is really cool with Gardevoir, is it also can imprison and stop a lot of other things. So he has the Serena to protect against priority. He can also stop against stop Trick Room against a lot of the Trick Room teams that we have in our league as well, which I think is pretty solid.
Yeah, for sure. No, it is a good one. Um, but Jay, you missed Speakman, and
Chris, I'm so sorry.
I didn't want to butt in because you were into it, and I was like,
Chris,
we'll tackle it in a second. It's fine.
Chris, I'm so sorry. It's okay.
But he dropped Breloom and picked up Rotom. So is Breloom? It is a grass type, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
grass
because it has
fighting.
seed bomb. Okay, yeah, that's right. So drops a grass type, picks up a grass type. Rotom is again, Rotom is cool. It's
Mm-hmm.
a Rotom, so Rotom is pretty dope. Um, and Breloom was kind of I feel like you can get some utility out of Breloom now that I think about it for a second. But
100%. Mm-hmm.
my initial thought was like it's there to go fast and hit hard, but I think you might be able to get some utility out of it. I can't remember for sure, but Rotom you definitely can. So um, cool move, good stuff. Not much more to say about it, but good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Chris, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for sniping you, and I'm sorry for missing your wire.
Mr. Snipe Man is sorry for sniping.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Next up, last just to wrap up, the wire part of weekend 8.5 part two. You have Simon dropping Kilowattrel, picking up Palma. I like Palma. It's Mickey Mouse in the anime, which I think is pretty
Exactly.
funny.
Exactly.
Also, you know, Revival Blessing. You know what I mean? And one thing about Palma is that, like it's kind of like it hits really hard, low key. Like double shock is kind of clutch in Terra especially because it doesn't lose the electric Terra. I'm pretty sure,
Hmm.
right? As well, so you can just like keep spamming them. Them do a lot of damage too, bro. And for Simon, he needed a fighting type. I think he definitely needed a fighting type, just to kind of help with the damage output on his team because he has Quaquaval, but it's like cool. It's cool. We had a fighting type, but now he has a little bit more physical offense just to go on with his team. It's a cool move. He wasn't really using Kilowattrel like that much, so it's just like why not? You know what I mean?
No, for sure. No, for sure. And Palmont looks really cute too. So there's always that. um, so yeah, those Jay, you wrapped it up just now. Those are the transactions from this past weekend, and we have a few trades to discuss.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
First up, Evan trades Swampert to Speakman for Tatsugiri, so he gets
Yes,
the
sir.
Dondozo Tatsugiri combination. So
Mhm.
I mean that's really good, to be honest.
Uh,
Like
that's a championship winning core right there.
it is like that's really good. So Evan, that's you put yourself in a really good position to wrap up these next 4 weeks. Um, Now, I mean, everyone's gonna have a plan for it as they go into a battle with you, but do you have to bring it? You don't. But if you do, and they did, I don't want to say and they didn't plan for it because everyone's probably gonna have a plan. But if you can get it out there and do some work with it,
Yeah.
it's a pretty solid combination. So good stuff. And then Speakman, you get Swampert. Swampert, I like it more. You know, mega version naturally. Um, just be sure to not keep it in against a grass type, and you should be good. So,
I agree. I agree. Yeah, one thing about Don Dozo Tatsugiri is you have to respect it, no matter what. Even
right.
like again, even if you that think in your head he's not gonna bring it. If he brings it, you still got to respect. You know. Ian guilt tripped Simon to trim back his mammoth wine for a high grapple. Now this, I'm glad he this was a good trade back for Ian. I think it's fantastic because mammoth wine is fantastic. For Simon, I don't know, man. I just feel like you win the trade on paper, right? Let me read you exactly what I wrote. Let me read you exactly what I wrote to that trade on the post. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Come on. I said this. I said, buddy, Simon, is 2 spots out of playoff, wins the trade on paper, and just reverses it back. I gotta delete this app. Because what the hell? Like, I don't know, bro. To me, it was just like it just doesn't make any sense. Where it's just yeah, you still have you have your team, right? But the trick room part is the Hydrapole, Reuniclus, and the Glacier, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if it was maybe like, oh, you have too many ice types type thing, but it's just like we have Terra for a reason. You know what
Right.
I mean? And ice itself isn't the greatest like defense typing, but it's a fantastic offensive typing that you still keep that aspect of part of your team, part of the Pokemon when you Terra. I don't know. I just think it's a. I think I don't know. I don't know what the negotiation was about that. I don't know what went into that, but I just think if we're gonna like compete, let's compete. You know what I mean? Like we're especially with like we're doing this for fun, obviously the hobby, but it's like bro, like at least like you've had Hydrapple for the entire season, make the switch and then try to like give it a shot. And then the comment was like, um, maybe next year, Memo. Like let's be for real. Let's be adults here. Like, come on now. For Ian, again, I love the trade because he needed a ground type, and again, I guess like Zach and everybody got into his head about the trade. But you know what I mean? It's just like I don't know, man. Like that's just a part of the game. You guys like there's nothing wrong with experimenting and just seeing how things are. You know what I mean? But it's whatever. What do you think about that, Jordan?
I mean, it's an interesting trade. It was it feels like there's a little more discussion around it that I missed entirely, being away last week. But no, it's interesting. So, Mammoth won for Hydrapple 2 times. So nice, he had to do it twice.
Oh, that shit is stupid, bro. That shit is dumb as hell, but it's okay. Ian,
Yeah.
I still love you. Simon, I'm glad I sniped you.
Mr. Snipe Man, glad he sniped.
Hmm.
Um, all right, so the next trade is Ty trading his Hisuian Samurott to J Wade for Glimora. Um, I mean, this one's kind of interesting because Glimora is a good Pokemon. You want to get it out there up front so you can set up the think it's like basically the rocks equivalent. I can't remember which ones, but yeah, you want that out front to hopefully get hit with the physical type move. And Hisuian Samurott is, I mean, Samurott, I think the Hisuian version is kind of cursed with the same thing where it's like, do you want to be physical? Do you want to be special? Um,
Hmm.
but also, I mean, they're both really cool Pokemon. They both look really awesome. Lamore looks like a beet or something, like a vegetable. But no, I mean, I'm cool with the trade. It was an
That look
interesting.
like a vegetable.
Yeah,
He's
it's
like a
it's like
vegetable.
something or like a rubber chicken, something like that.
Interesting, interesting. Like that, like that. Next up, to wrap up the trades for weekend 8.5, part two, we have a Reach trading Thunderous Darian to myself for Murkrow. Now, to switch you, Jordan, when I was scrimming, I scrimmed a lot like last week. It was crazy.
Hmm.
It was cool, but I didn't bring Murkrow for any of those scrims. The
Hmm.
reason why I didn't want to bring Murkrow, I just because one, I wanted to see because I like prankster Pokemon, but if I feel like if I feel like I'm playing well enough where I don't, because realistically it's like I would just need the Tailwind,
Hmm.
right, and maybe the Quash, but I just felt like maybe it's not really something that I truly needed, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um, I felt like it would have still put me in a box where it's like I would have to still bring Rain Dance on something on
Yeah.
Murkrow just in case my rain gets changed. And I don't know, I just felt like, like it was cool that one week, but I wasn't really feeling it. And then I saw Reese. He messaged me. 11 o'clock before the window opens, and I'm just like, I fucking hate Thunderous. I hate it with a passion. I electroshot it into it, and it was a stupid move because it has Volt Absorb. And I thought to myself, I looked at myself. I took a walk to my bathroom, looked in the mirror, and I said, how can you not electro shot the Thunderous? And damn, team, and I won't electrocute it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that was the main reason, honestly.
No, that's
But
fair. Yeah.
on a serious note, I'm being stupid. But again, I just felt like the one thing Thunderous is missing that I think really hinders it is the fact that it doesn't get Hurricane. If it got Hurricane, I think it would have been really annoying, and it would have been one of the best like rain sweepers out. But Wildbolt Storm still hits 100%. It has decent, like it's okay coverage. It's not the greatest, but there's a lot of sneaky moves in there you kind of pull off.
Yeah.
As well. Again, it's like I have you can tear it. So it's just like you can take advantage of like I spoke about it with Arcanine earlier. It's just like those kind of type immunity based moves, Volt Absorb, Flash Fire, Earth Eater, all those things. You can use Terra to kind of like manipulate and change your advantage, and that's what Ian did in our matchup against me. He went Terra flying, and it's just like, how can I kill this thing if I don't have any ice? It's just
Right.
just, just things like that. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So
Yep.
for that, that was my main reason of picking it up. For Reese, I think it's cool because now Reese literally is he is like the avatar. He's like the master of the elements. And now I actually thought this entire time I thought Reese already had a prankster, but he didn't. So now again, it's even more ways for him to kind of gain speed and control. And now he can under Trick Room he can quash, which is kind of cool and kind of scary. But that's all I got.
Well, no, I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head from both perspectives. Like these are good Pokemon on both sides going back and forth. So I mean, you
Hmm.
guys both came out. I mean, if you would have stayed the same, like kept the Pokemon, your teams would have been good. The fact that you
Yeah.
traded them, your teams are, I mean, they're still good. So it's like, yeah, I like this trade for both you guys. So good stuff.
Thank you,
Um,
Chief.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's it. So that is Transfer Weekend 8.5 Part 2. So we've done 8.5 Part 1, which was before the midseason. We've covered the midseason, and we've done 8.5 Part 2. Jay, before we move forward, anything you want to say about these transactions, these trades, etc.?
Yeah, Simon, I just want to let you know it's all love, but if I ever catch you doing that again, I swear to God, I swear to God, like if I ever catch you, Simon, Ricky, catch you, Ricky, Ricky, when I catch you. No, I'm joking. It's okay. But nah, man, just again, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about trade back. I don't know, bro. It's to me, it's just weird. I don't know. To
Yeah,
me, it's just very, very strange.
it
But
is.
I
It is
get it.
interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but then just everybody, man, make sure like we made a lot of moves. I was like, let me see, we started at what, like 10:40 ish. We've just been talking about moves for the past like hour and 30. Literally, it's 12:10. Literally, the past like hour and 30 minutes. So
Right.
again, man, just make sure you have all your Pokemon. Make sure if you have like certain things you need to complete the DLC for, make sure you get that done as well.
Right.
This probably be up Wednesday morning, Jordan. Probably, maybe if
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, Wednesday. I think Wednesday at noonish will be when this goes live. So yeah.
Yeah. So we usually like Wednesday's usually like usually Thursday I feel like is the main day.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday and Friday is the main day where people kind of get to battling.
Right.
So just just make sure you have all your stuff ready. If you need any Jennings, just like make sure you hit the guys up. Not Ian though, because he has a lot on his plate, and if y'all hit him up, I'll find y'all and I'll snipe y'all. Um, and things like that, man. So then overall, just have fun. So, if you want to trade back that Pokemon you just got, or Reese, I'm texting you right now. I want my fucking Murkrow back immediately. You know what I mean?
Yo, trade
Then do
backs.
that. You feel
Yeah,
me?
trade backs are the theme of the weekend for sure.
Exactly.
With a
So,
couple of them going down.
Jordan, if you want to trade, we can trade, and then next week I'll trade you right back.
Yo, I'm down. Let's make it happen.
Say less. Say less. That's all we gotta do.
It's just that simple, guys. That's how you
Mhm.
get trades accomplished. You just put it out
This
there
is
like
the
that.
uh,
It's very simple.
this is the Kevin Durant style of
No.
negotiation.
Exactly. Well, no, fun stuff. So yeah, it was a really cool week. I'm sorry that I missed out on, a lot of it, but at the same time, family had fun, so that was cool. But yeah.
Exactly.
So Jay, that is the transactions part of the podcast. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a small break, and we will jump into our week 9. We are back with picks, and we're gonna make our picks for week 9 after this quick commercial break. All right, fam. We are going to wrap up the week 9 podcast with week 9 picks. Jay, I'll let you go ahead. Actually, it's my match first, so
Hmm.
I'll go ahead and kick us off real fast.
Go forward.
And you know where I'm going with this.
Hmm.
Dan by 2. No. No, 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 no,
Wow.
no. I'm going with myself, obviously. I'm going with myself by 2 because I've got confidence in
Hmm.
myself. And Jay,
As
what are
you
you going
should.
to go with?
I think you spent a little much too much time with Mickey and Goofy in them. So I think you might need a little bit of a warm up match. So I'm gonna go with Dan by 4.
Whoa, you got me getting
I have to.
demolished.
No, listen, man, you just been out of it for a while, man. You know what I mean? So I'm just like maybe he's not focused, but we'll go. Maybe slide a little bit of a fire under you. I'm gonna go with Dan by 4
Yo,
with the
I'm
big
not gonna
number
lie to you.
4.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's not a bad pick.
Nah,
That's not
don't
a
say
bad pick.
that.
Not a bad pick, bud.
No, don't be like that. Don't be like that.
But I've got you locked in. All right.
Yes, sir. Next up, we have Team Tay's Backsies, aka Ian, going going against Evan. The Delta Deliver. That's a pretty cool name. I'm joking. Ian's team name is what's Ian's team name?
um,
The
you no say.
Everstone Eevees, or wherever the hell Everstone is. And then we're going. I love you, Ian. I'm just messing with you. I'm going to go with Ian. We'll go with Ian by 3.
All right, I've got it locked in. Ian by 3. Um, so Evan has a dangerous team now. Evan has this
Mm-hmm.
Dondozo Tatsugiri thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
But Ian's pretty confident in his team. He didn't really make too many
Mm-hmm.
moves this past weekends. Um, I'm gonna go with Ian just because he is having a heck of a season right now at 7-1. I'm gonna go with Ian by I'll go with Ian by 2. I think Evan's going to keep it close, just because he
Mm-hmm.
does have this new revamped team. So let's see how that turns out. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
Jay, you are going against SB this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you go ahead and pick first. You go ahead and pick yours.
I'm gonna go with myself. I'm gonna go with myself by 2. Now,
All
I bet
right.
you wondering, Jay, why did you pick such a low margin? Let me tell you why. I don't battle well in the morning, or like I don't know what, like, or late at night. I don't know what it is. My times are 2 p.m. It's 11 p.m. Um, so I don't know. We'll see. But on serious note, I'm gonna go with about two. I think SB's team is low key like look a low key be a problem against my squad, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's last time they could put in a lot of work against me. I hate Whimsicott, so I'm probably gonna that it's probably gonna come in and try to get revenge on me. Reggie like he's probably really upset that I kicked it to the curb. I'm joking. So it's gonna come back and probably shock all my water types. So we'll see. I think I don't know. I just sense in my soul is gonna be a lot closer than I want it to be. I'm going with myself by two.
Okay, no, I've got you locked in. Jay by 2. So Jay, you know who does battle in the morning? S
SB.
SB.
Mm-hmm.
um, and just to light a little fire under you, I'm gonna go with SB by 1. I think you keep it close.
Interesting.
SB, he's got that little home field advantage going on with the early morning match, is what it sounds like. So I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
go with SB by 1. So maybe he
I like
catches you
that.
off your game a little bit.
I, I like that.
All right, so
Say
next,
less.
we've got Brian going up against Jay Wade. Brian's having a heck of a
This is
year
an
too.
interesting match. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's an interesting matchup right here.
but Jay Wade, I think is Jay Wade 6-2. Is that his?
Jared is 5-3.
Okay, no, 5-3 is still respectable. Okay, so I mean they're both
Mm-hmm.
having good years. Um, I'm gonna go. This is really a toss up.
It's tough, man.
Right, right. You know what? I'm gonna keep it spicy. I'm gonna go with Jay Wade by 3. That's I could honestly
Mm.
see that going either way,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe this little they're close in the standings. Maybe Jay Wade wants to come up a little bit. I'm gonna go with Jay Wade by
Mm-hmm. Just because Jared cost me my perfect week,
3.
I'm gonna go with Brian. I'm gonna go with Brian by 3 as well.
Brian by
And
3.
he cost me my perfect week. Then he beat me the very next week.
The
But
disrespect.
what's that guy's problem, man?
Yo, I think it's just yeah, that's just he's from the UK, bro.
Next up, we have a Reese going against Ty. Um, I'm gonna go for Reese, but I'm gonna go for Reese by 4.
I've got you locked in, and this is they both have Sun, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so it's just a matter of who can play in the heat. Ty
Mm-hmm.
is having a kind of rough year, but at the same time, he's in the hunt. Reese, I mean 8-0. It's kind of hard to go against a Reese right now because he's riding a win streak, coming
Mm-hmm.
off of a championship. So I'm gonna go with a Reese as well. I think Ty keeps it close though. Um, so I'll go with a Reese by a Reese by 1. I think it'll be a little bit closer than we think. So I've got a Reese locked
That's
in
fair.
by 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've got Justin looking for his first dub going against Jay Grants, who is currently locked into a very tight playoff race. Um, let's go with Jay by,
Mm-hmm.
dare I say, 4?
Ooh,
I'm gonna go with Jay by 4.
interesting. Okay, okay. For the sake of opposing you,
Oof,
I'm gonna go with Justin by 2.
Justin by 2.
I think yeah, he has some stuff that could put some damage on her squad, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. But let's see, let's see. 'Cause Justin can play. He
Yeah,
can definitely play. He has a habit of sometimes pulling these wins like out of nowhere, or like he'll be like 0-5 and then win like randomly. I think
right.
this might be that week.
No, fair. No, that is respectable. So Justin by 2, got it locked in.
We got Phil going against Speakman. This is an interesting match, man. This is a very interesting match. We have a lot of low Pokemon that are viable in Trick Room. We throw Weezing in there, you know what I mean? Kind of mess around a little bit. It's tough, man.
And they're both 2-6, so this is a good one.
Mhm,
This is going to be a fun one for playoff implications.
mhm. I'm gonna go. Damn, this is hard. I'm gonna go with.
It is a toss
With
up. It is a toss up.
2. Yeah, I'm gonna go Chris by 2 because I feel like I don't know. I just something tells me that if Kirkland gets set up, I think Chris's team will benefit more from it.
Hmm.
To be honest with you, and the threats that Hill has in Trick Room, I feel like Chris has an answer for both of them, if he brings them as well.
Yeah.
That's my reasoning for
I mean, that's fair. I'm looking at it too. I don't want to pick Chris because he has the Enamorus on his team, and that Pokemon's weird
it.
looking.
Whoa,
but
whoa!
I do feel like you're onto something a little bit, so I'll go with Chris as well. But I'm gonna go with Chris by 3. All
Fair,
right,
that's fair,
Enamorus,
fair.
weird looking Pokemon, very strange.
Sir,
Um,
please listen. Hold on. You're a Maractus enthusiast. I don't want to hear anything. I want to hear a single about weird looking Pokemon. Like you,
yo,
this guy likes
Maractus,
cactuses.
Maractus is just a cactus with a face. That's all,
Yeah,
and it's a champion. So there's that too.
such an innovative design.
All right, so the next match is I was looking real quick because I thought this was a season 2, but it may be a season 3 finals rematch. Let me just glance over here. Yep, Mike Zach, season 3 finals rematch. We have a player who's 8-0. We have a player who's 7-1. This is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be recorded, so that's freaking hyped. I think Zach goes down, bro. I think Mike takes the dub. I think Mike takes it by 3 as well.
Mm.
And yeah, puts his name in the in contention for the number 1 spot.
Woohoo.
Actually, I don't think he can jump into number 1, but into the top 4 with a dub
Right,
would be huge. Um,
gotcha.
yeah, Mike by 4 or Mike by 3. Sorry.
I'm going to oppose you, and I'm going to go with the long neck. Uh, I guess kind of long neck people because whatever. I'm joking. I'm joking. Melodic for Graph and Raging Bull have really long neck. Um, I'm gonna go with Zach.
Yo, Milotic
I
has like a
think this.
long body.
I mean, but it's a neck though. You know what I
Fair,
mean? Like
fair.
it has a neck. I'll debate you until the end of time about that. Um, but I'm going with Zach. I'm going with Zach by 1. I think it's gonna be a
Ooh,
very close, interesting match.
that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, this is gonna be a really good one.
Hmm.
All right, Jav got you locked in. Zach by 1. Go ahead and finish this up.
Yep, we got Brendan going against Simon. Now, I heard last year this was a close match. Can
Mm-hmm.
you confirm or deny that?
I cannot because I don't
It's
remember.
okay.
Yeah.
I I am going to pull up the history that we now have in our lovely PLC Discord
Yeah, check that out. And I will actually look at season 8 just to
as
see.
well. Let me see, because I heard this was a close match
Yeah.
last time they played. I just wanted to verify, double check. Let me see, what week is this? Simon. Damn, Simon lost a lot by very close margins that year. Goddamn.
Oh, I'm looking
He
too.
5-0 tie. God damn. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's the first thing I saw. I'm sorry. Um, damn, he 3-0 Drew Jordan. You got smoked like that?
Whoa, 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 whoa. We're not talking about
I'm
me.
joking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's the first thing I saw. It's the first thing I saw.
That's funny.
Um, what the hell's that? Oh, so Brendan won by 1.
Ooh, that
All
is
right,
good.
and that was week 8.
That is
So
good. Yeah.
so coming out of midseason, just like last year, which is actually really funny.
Ooh.
They once again meet again post midseason. Now, I think I think Brendan is gonna absolutely destroy Simon. To be honest with you, no, I'm joking. On a serious note, I don't know. Because Simon has some stuff that could put some hurt on Brendan. Not gonna lie to you, I'm still with Brendan. I'm going with Brendan by 4.
Brendan by 4.
Brendan's
Got it
having
locked in.
he's having an okay year so far as well. He's having a good year. Excuse me, Brendan. You're having a good year. My
Yeah,
fault,
yeah.
bro.
Well, no, I'm gonna go. So Simon likes these matches. He remembers things, and I guarantee you, he remembers that match from last week or last year. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Poetic Justice has Simon coming out on top by one
Mm.
against Brendan this year to kind
Is
of
that in the script?
mirror. It may be in the script. It may
Okay.
be in the script. And that'll be interesting to see. So I'm going to go with Simon by one to mirror last year's, or I guess reverse mirror, but to mirror last year's match coming out of
Interesting.
midseason.
Is this also technically week 8? Oh, it's week 9.
Week 9. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That would have been crazy.
I was like, wow, the fate, the RNG.
Right. Well, no, this is gonna be fun. So those are all of our picks for week 9. Um, Go ahead and schedule your battles, folks. We haven't had any battles scheduled to this, or I'm sorry, done to this point. So go ahead and do your thing and get me those perfect calls. If you get Jay some too, that's cool. But get me those perfect calls. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, Jay, anything before we wrap up the first podcast back in a couple weeks? Anything you want to say to the
Mhm.
people? Anything you want to say
Nah,
to the
man, just
competitors?
good luck. No take backs, please. All sales,
No, no
all
trade
sales are
backs.
final. You know, all sales are final. Unfortunately.
Right. Well, no, very fair stuff. And the only thing I'll mention is that we have 4 weeks to go, and that means 4 battles to get into one of the top 12 spots. So I will see you guys in chat, and we will catch you guys there, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Peace.